The following podcast contains naughty language and ridiculous situations. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're arriving a little late because we had a little tech issue that was caused by
don't blame the dog. Don't blame the dog.
A four-footed disaster unit that strolled through here and unplugged the system. But we're back.
It wasn't the fucking dog.
It was the fucking dog.
It was you.
And fuck you, it was. And so we're back, and we're getting ready to do some reviewing like we always do. So hopefully, Ollie, you just stay right where you are, buddy. Okay? And welcome to Trick or Treat Radio.
Welcome all you little zombies. You're listening to Trick or Treat Radio, starring the Deadites.
Welcome to episode 384 of Trick or Treat Radio. Trick or Treat Radio is the world's most dangerous podcast and is recorded in front of an undead studio audience here at Castle Wolfenstein and at the lair of La Swag within the Raven Chateau. We discuss, in December, at least 2 films a week. We argue, we make fun of each other, and MZ fucking lies. That son of a bitch. I can't believe you blamed Ollie.
It's easy to blame Ollie. He can't fight back.
Oh,
He can't fight back.
yeah.
It's also easy to blame Ollie because he's the one who did it.
No, you did it. You're the closest one in that fucking cord. So nobody.
We only have your word for this. We can't see the cords down there, and you were.
I can see the cords down there.
Your feet were like kicking in that direction.
Yeah.
Kicking anywhere. I was leaning over.
Oh boy, we get the demonstration.
Don't-
Look at
no,
that
don't-
red cord. Don't touch the cord.
Don't do it.
Power's up.
If you guys,
Shut-
if we lose you
Howard's
guys
been-
again, I'm not bringing you back.
6.
Yeah, if something happens, I'm just doing the show solo. I'm not bringing you guys back. So, I mean, for those listening live and listening to the podcast, they have no clue what happened because, we're running a little bit late, but that's pretty typical. We're actually commenting on how, we're going to be a little closer to start time this week. And then, of course, MZ fucking knocks out the power of the computer.
It was not me, you dick.
And then I had to get it back on, and then Skype was updating, and God,
And don't kick my dog, bro.
MZ, I can't believe you fucking kicked the cord out.
I didn't kick the cord, nor your dog. I didn't kick, but I'll be kicking you in the teeth if you don't knock your shit off.
Wow,
Nice.
you're not a violent person though, MZ.
I love people.
Such hostility. I blame the rap music. All that fat boys.
Yeah.
All the disorderlies.
The disorderlies.
That's gangster rap from. I live in suburbia, and that's gangster rap from where I come from.
Oh my God.
All this rapping about Eaton and Freddy Krueger. I mean, Jesus Christ. What are you? You kids are monsters.
Actually, I have a fucking disorderly's story.
Wow.
Do you? You really have a disorderly story?
Yeah, it's kind of some fucking.
I can't picture anybody who was even in that movie would have a story, but
No, it's actually some fucking childhood drama right now, or some
drama or trauma?
Trauma. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was last day of school, probably, I don't know, maybe 6th or 7th grade, and I was able to rent a copy of Disorderlies because it was on VHS at the time.
Good.
Yep.
That's some quality time right there.
So I was super excited, and I was able to convince my Mama Raven Shadow, to let me ride my bike to school in Aries. My mom, and that was a pretty bold thing
Yes.
to do at that age. So the whole deal was we'd ride to the school, my friends, we'd come back to my parents' place, and we'd get pizza and watch Disorderlies on VHS. It'd be fucking excellent. So as we're riding, I felt like a real big boy riding, my bike home, home from school, and I hop on a curb. It was
Shaw.
Was it Shaw? Or was it Elmwood?
I don't think you rode your bike to Elmwood. That would have been like 3rd grade.
Oh yeah, so Shaw. It was supposed to be Shaw School on the hill, with the hill coming
Yeah,
down.
big hill. Yeah.
So you know where I'm talking about, Aries. Only Aries knows it. So I'm riding back, and I hop on a curb, but my bike pedal clips a telephone pole just enough where I fucking lose control of the bike,
Oh,
flip
Jesus.
over the motherfucker, and the motherfucker's laughing.
You're here. We know you didn't die.
Well,
So
true, it all worked out.
Yeah, it all kind of worked out.
So I flip over the fucking handlebars and I land on the fucking curb, like my back. So it's on.
You break your back like Bane style?
you curbed yourself.
I
Like, what is
fucking curbed myself. It's terrible. So I curb myself. Meanwhile, there's a motherfucking school bus drives fucking by. So this fucking and it stops. Like if they were fucking cell phones back in the day, it'd be fucking viral like a motherfucker. What are you gonna say?
I'm not going to say anything. A little panic attack
Okay.
because the screen went black.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, so now everyone stops. The bus is there. Fucking someone calls the fucking paramedics, which is a different fucking 80s comedy. And now I'm on a fucking board, right? And now it's like fucking
A board?
a board, yeah, because I fell. I'm on my back,
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah.
like one of those like
A backboard.
a backboard.
Yeah.
And I get fucking hoisted up, fucking brought to the fucking hospital.
Did the light life come for you?
No, but it was like fucking weird. And it's one of those moments where I'm like, I go to the paramedic. Am I gonna walk again? And he's like, yeah, shut up, dummy. And
He's like, you got a
I-
little scrape on your knee.
yeah. But I was on the fucking board, strapped to a fucking board.
Tell my mom I love her.
Yeah.
Tell my future dog Ollie I love him.
Yeah. So I'm brought to the fucking hospital. I'm on the fucking board for like 3 fucking weeks. You know what I mean? I was fucking bawling. It's fucking out. It's terrible. Happy last day of fucking school, asshole. So
You're gonna make him cry. Don't kick the cord.
yeah, I'll get the fucking cord. Your fucking hysteria. So yeah, so I fucking ended up at all. I mean, I walked. It was fine. It just was fucking 3 fucking hours later. Now, to be fair, my mom did score me a couple of dope Joe comics. It was the G.I. Joe issue where it had like Snake Eyes, Destro, and Cobra Commander.
All taking the
unmasked.
max off. Yes, I know that one.
right, yeah. So it's pretty rad. Not worth the 5-hour ER visit with the whole school bus watching your boy Raven Shadow. So I finally saw Disorderlies like a couple days later. Didn't really enjoy the motherfucker.
And you had to pay the late fees on
Yeah,
it.
I did. It was
Yeah.
fucking late fees. So fuck Disorderlies.
Wow. Yeah, you're a little triggered right there, Raven Shadow.
I'm fucking triggered. This sucks.
You just mentioned comics. I got a comic story to tell in a sec. But before I do that, I want to let folks know that it is December double feature cram jam, and we watched 2 movies this week. If you add them together, they were still shorter than the one movie from last week.
That's true. There was some, I will say, big ups to the running time of both pictures.
Yeah,
this
I
week.
figured you'd like that. So this week we're going to be talking about Ready or Not from Radio Silence. That's a directing collective, and also Tigers Are Not Afraid from Issa Lopez. So we're going to be talking about those 2 flicks, and we'll probably cut down a little bit on the chatter in the intro here, so we don't go 4 fucking hours as we talk about 2 films. But also, if people want to give us some voice messages or emails, you can send them to podcast@trickortreatradio.com. And we're a little light this week, but, if there's still some time, if you're out there listening live and you want to get something in, go ahead, send it, podcast@trickortreatradio.com, and we'll get it on the air at the end of the show. So, yeah, so I was about to mention, so today, Raven Shadow, today was a tough day. As you know, when I came up this past weekend, I got my comic books,
Yeah.
13 long boxes. And I brought him to the comic book store today to get an estimate on how much I could get for him. And it wasn't that much, but I wasn't really anticipating that much. They were not all bagged and boarded, so there was some imperfections, some entire boxes that were like bent because there wasn't, when you get a long box and it's not full, they sometimes kind of like, lean back, or a bunch of them had like bends in them and shit like that. But to be fair, like a lot of the stuff didn't really, it wasn't really rare stuff. It's all stuff from like 1996 to like 2012, so it's all fairly common stuff that will probably go in like a quarter bin or 50-cent bin, you know?
Well, I mean, once again, it's not that it's not awesome stuff. It's just stuff that supply and demand.
Yeah, there's a lot of it out there.
Exactly. Yeah. So the guy that did it, he was real cool. He was real like upfront with me. He's like, hey man, like I'm gonna go through every single one. He's like, I know the books, you know, because he owns like 3 stores, and he said he knows all the books that fetch more. If it's more than $10, he pulls it out, and then we talk about it, you know.
Right.
So I had about 12 books, which I wasn't sure how many I'd have like that got pulled out, like you know, to look at how much. But I had first appearance of Harley Quinn, which apparently fetches about $60.
Wait, in the animated series?
I'm talking about the comic book.
No. It was she first appeared in Batman Adventures in the animated series.
Then that was not it. He said it was the first. It was the Paul Dini drawn. The cover of it, I think it was an Alex Ross. I'm trying to. I don't know what it was now. Actually, it was just like a one shot. It was like a.
Was it her first?
That was the first like official DC appearance, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah. So DCU appearance, right? You probably had the first DC. That makes more sense.
Yeah. And then also Harley Quinn #1.
The Gong.
Yeah. That I can't remember the exact price, but maybe $20 or $30 for that one. And the book that I had that was of the most value, unfortunately, was not bagged and boarded. It was just loose, and that's Saga #1.
Oh shit! Yeah.
He said in perfect condition sells for $200. And mine was a little dinged up, bent at the bottom, so I think I got like 50 for it.
That's pretty good though.
Yeah. So the funny thing is, those 12 or so books got me half of the money that I got. So like they ended up totaling like $210 or something like that, just for like 12 books.
That's pretty good.
So it's not bad, yeah. And then the rest, he basically just gave me like $25 per box. And I was like, you know what? Like, I don't want to lug these back. So I ended up getting $450 for all the comics.
That's actually really good, dude.
How many comics? Oh, I imagine you could wedge them in there, but I mean, how many comics can you wedge into a long box?
Well, 300 is the limit. Like that, 300 is the limit on Schmitzen Group. But you could fit 300 per long box, give or take. You know, depending if there's trades or whatever. But you can typically fit 300 normal issues, and I would say only a couple of them were full, and then the others were like almost full, and then others were, I had like one that was like 3/4 full. So my guess is probably about 3,500 books, roughly. And a lot of it was fairly new and very common stuff. One of the ones that he took that I had no idea was like Thor. I think want to say it was God of Thunder. It was like a fairly new series. I want to say around the time the New 52 came out. Issue number 2, I got like $30 for it, I think.
Really?
Yeah, it was the first appearance of a specific character, I guess. I don't remember which one it was now. But he said if I had issues 4 through 6, which I actually think I took them out and put him aside for T-Dog because she likes Thor, and so he said that they typically go for like about $60.
Really?
Yeah. So I had like Batgirl #1. There was the Jim Lee Batman #1.
Oh yeah, from probably Hush.
Not Hush. It was
All Star Bat.
No, was the New 52? Did Jim Lee do the? Or am I thinking of something else? I just know it was a Jim Lee cover. It was a Batman #1 book. That got a decent amount. Birds of Prey #1 from back in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Oh, probably with probably the Gary Frank artwork.
Yeah, I think that was it. Yeah.
She had like the no fishnets. She just had the shorts on.
Yes.
Yeah, that's blowing up.
And funny enough, I had a Gwar comic #7. I don't even know what it was, but he said I think he gave me like $20 for it.
Really?
Yeah. I don't even know how I got it.
Probably Music Quest. Probably. Or you
Probably. I just don't remember buying it, And there was a couple other things. Like there was a Superman. I can't remember which issue of Superman. It was from like the Death of Superman era, I think. I think it was like a Doomsday. Was it not the first appearance of Doomsday, but it was something like that. I don't remember. But that's one that he. So basically, any book that was over $10, he pulled aside, and we kind of looked it up and took a look. So.
Really?
Yeah. So I not too bad. I was hoping. I thought the lowest it would be is like $350, and I was hoping the highest would be like maybe $750, but because because not all of it was bagged and boarded, and some of it was like bent. He couldn't offer. He only offered $25 per long box. So.
All right. I was thinking about you doing that, and you're cool. You're cool with that?
Yeah. I mean, like I haven't looked at I saved my favorites.
Good.
Like for instance, Transmetropolitan, Preacher, and Starman, of course, yeah. And then a handful of other things. Like I took some issues of Green Lantern from like the Ron Mars into the Judd Winnick era when Kyle was introduced. Some of that.
Good.
Yeah.
You have all your stuff, right?
What's up?
You have all your Kyle stuff, right?
Not all of it. I kept like the issues 48, 49, 50 for sure. That's when Hal went nuts. And then I think the first issue of Kyle and maybe a few others. I don't remember. And then just a smattering of other stuff. Stuff that I had the Infinity Gauntlet storyline. I think, which I don't know if that goes for anything, but I pulled that out as well.
Cool.
So yeah, I got some other stuff, and he said that if I find those Thors, if I want to get rid of them, they go for like a good 60 or so. So.
Oh shit.
So I'll have to look for those and find out. I think it was. I want to say it was God of Thunder.
That was a miniseries. I feel the cover was like a painted cover.
Yeah, they were painted covers. Yeah.
He had a cool like strap with his hammer. He was looking all fucking Norse.
Yeah. Oh, it was Marvel Now. By Jason Aaron.
That's something that Jason Aaron run, and that was right around. That was probably we were still doing flip phones back then for the show. To give you a time frame, that's probably
2 years ago.
This is 2 years ago.
Oh, that's it's talking you, flip phone, everyone.
I got a fucking smartphone. Fucking smart.
Yeah. So
it's fucking smart.
Smart.
Yeah.
Smart.
SMOT.
Smart. The smartphone.
But I think I had no reservations until he said, "Hey, I'll give you some time to think about it." He made the offer, and he said, "I'll give you some time to think about it." And he walked away, and I was just left alone with my comics, and I'm like, "Ah, fuck." And I was looking.
It's like giving your kid the orphanage.
Yeah.
Look at it this way: you could start all over again. It'll be like you're 7 years old all over again.
No, I'm not starting all over again. But yeah, at that point, and then he basically gave me like an estimate of how much the books were, and then we looked him up, and of course he was pretty much right on about all of them. And he even called out. He's like, "Hey, before we started looking through them, he's like, these are the ones I'm looking, like that of this era that will fetch a decent price." He named them, and so we're kind of looking through and looking for them, and so. Yeah, I mean, overall, it was a cool. I just didn't know what to do with him. I don't have the room, and I literally kept him on my car all week, Raven Shadow, because I didn't want to bring him in because I knew if I brought him in, I might not put him back.
Yeah, that must weigh a fucking ton.
Oh,
it does a number on your mileage.
Yeah, I think it did actually on my way back from Massachusetts. I think it definitely did. So. But
I mean, each box, though, I know that's got to weigh about what, maybe 70 pounds, 80 pounds.
Well,
no, not that much.
Paper's heavy. It's fucking made of wood. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it. Comic fans should be. I should be more jacked. Fucking lifting long boxes.
Yeah,
you gotta put comics in them.
Yeah,
no,
that's how you get. That's where you get your exercise. You just lift the comics.
Yeah, I bet you long boxes all day, empty ones, like I already said. That's funny.
Yeah, I'm actually curious how much a full comic book long box weighs.
They're fucking heavy. I guess even the short box is a little heavy. Probably like 30 pounds.
Now, I thought the long boxes were just like cardboard.
Well, yeah.
There is wood involved in those?
Oh,
well, I made a joke.
Yeah, you just saying paper is wood, yeah.
Papyrus.
Oh, papyrus. Listen to you.
Yeah.
It's not even papyrus, you dick.
I'm gonna give you a virus.
Of a virus.
Yeah.
So someone did some of the weighed it out. I'm looking at just looking at a forum here, and this person weighed 211 comics in a long box, and it was 38.24 pounds. So yeah, so it's between basically 38 and 60 pounds, depending on how many books were in there. So.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you weren't too far, Femzy. I'd say probably about 50 per box for me. So
Yeah. Huh.
so yeah, so I lifted how much would that be? If 100 pounds per two, so yeah, 650 pounds.
Yeah, Jesus.
That's an additional 650 in the car and everything. Yeah, that's a pretty good amount. So yeah, so if anyone out there has Saga #1 first edition, if it's in good shape, $200.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. It's crazy.
I had no idea.
Saga is huge. I've not read it yet. Well, even it's funny looking back at the old CryptoCast. Mars and I did a little comic segment. I remember he threw it on the ground, which was funny because that book, yeah, definitely increased in value.
Yeah,
I think it was around it was doing like Walking Dead, Saga, and like Batman, X-Men numbers. They were the, Saga. I think it's still going on. I've not read it.
yeah, it is. Yeah,
But I mean, it's only a matter of time.
It's funny. I asked people at my job. I was like, "Hey, I'm selling comics. If anyone wants to buy like a huge lot of comics, let me know." And everyone was like, "Oh, like, do you have Saga? Do you have Harley Quinn?" And like those are like the two. I'm like, I'm not digging for them. If you want the whole thing, you can take it, but I'm not digging for them.
It's hard too. I mean, there's some great stuff there. But people are very selective now. The market has kind of shifted. Like we'll even do that at the shop, where there's at a point now where they're bundling, collections together, like 1 through 75 of, Flash Rebirth for or Flash 5-2
Yeah,
for like $70, or which you figure, 60 issues at $70 is pretty good when they're $3 a piece.
Yep.
And they'll do these bundles, and that will kind of maybe people will grab those. There's a few customers that will do that, but it's hard. Where a lot of folks like the trades, and for some of the biggest characters now, Deadpool and Harley Quinn, it's still funny to me how they've taken on a life of their own in the culture.
yeah.
Where, we're of the age when those characters first appeared. I remember when Harley Quinn first debuted in the animated series.
Yep.
I remember when Deadpool debuted in New Mutants, 98, I think, 97, 98. And it was like, oh, cool. It's like Spider-Man with swords. But I didn't give a fuck. I was more into Sabretooth and like Wolverine. And even Harley Quinn, like, oh, it's the girl from the cartoon. Doesn't count because she wasn't in the books.
Right.
But over 20-something years later, those characters still resonate. And I'm not quite sure why.
Yeah.
Because they're awesome.
I don't know if the word.
I know. I love both those characters. Have since day one of seeing them.
You were a big Harley Quinn fan, and she's a great character. But I think she's great in the animated series. But I don't know if she's a great character.
I never loved the Harley Quinn comics. Like, even though I bought like that series, it's not memorable. I don't remember anything about it.
And she is awesome in the cartoon, but it's just funny that's what she's like almost the face of the franchise for DC. You put her name on something and it'll sell.
Yep.
Well, yeah, just because of, I mean, it was a bad movie, but they loved her in Suicide Squad. The masses.
Yeah.
And Margot Robbie was awesome. I'm still fuzzy on how do you go from Stockholm Syndrome to Ninja. I don't understand how the progression of that.
Well, she's a gymnast too. Okay, she's a cartoon. Okay.
Margot Robbie's real. But those are the books, man. But yeah, if you can get her appearance in the Batman animated comic, that's the money. I think the cover is like Barbara Gordon, Batgirl, Poison Ivy. It's a blue cover. That fetches mad loot.
Yeah.
But it was funny, like when we were reading, even when we were younger, that probably came out when we were in our early 20s, I would think, Aries. And we didn't buy the animated comics. You know, those
Right,
are the
right.
kids'
That was the
books.
kids' book. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But that book is worth crazy money right now.
That's
Because no one bought it.
No,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Fucking new.
Our boy Anthony posted on the Facebook feed. It's I can't remember the name of that show. What was that fucking show? The pawn shop where they bring the
Pawn
Pawn
Stars?
Stars?
Pawn Stars. Yeah. So it's got like the dad, and he's it's a GIF that says the best I can do is $20.
Yeah.
So, how about you, Ravechild? You gonna get rid of yours next?
I don't know, man. No, I mean, it's thank goodness my parents still let me keep my books there.
One day though.
You're screwed when they sell that
Yeah,
house.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
one day that's it'll happen. Like they're gonna downsize or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, Al's been talking about it for the last like 5 years, but Raven Shadow's been putting the kibosh on it.
You're like, no, I got a place for my comics.
My stuff is there. Don't have a child if you can't keep his stuff for 42 years. I didn't choose to be born. I mean, fortunately, in my new continuity, I have more space now.
It's true.
But still, that will add up, though. I mean, you've seen the comic room, Aries.
I have, yes.
Yeah.
Bigger than this room.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
And so I was up for about a day, and we did record another film commentary, and that is available on the Patreon feed. If you guys have yet to see it, if you're Patreon supporters, you can find that. We did a film commentary of Weird Science, which I think we all were a little surprised at how many genre, references and how deeply rooted it was in genre film. So
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. A lot more. I mean, we've seen the movie a ton of times. Wolfie more than anybody out of all of us. But when we were like really paying attention, we had the headphones on, doing our thing. It's like there's a whole lot more going on there than just two teenagers making a chick.
Well, I mean, I never made the connection between that and the comic either. I just thought it was a.
Well, let's leave that for the episode, Raven Shadow.
Ooh, I was kind of putting the fucking
don't.
in the water.
So it was a lot of fun though. It was unfortunately Aries wasn't able to make it, so it was just the three of us, and we watched it. We had fun. I sat in Aries' chair.
Yeah.
You didn't use my cushion though.
No, they tried to get me to.
Oh, I should have used the fucking cushion.
You're on a couch.
I know, but I'm on a low couch.
Raven Shadow, he was gonna wash your mug, and I told him not to. Aries, he was so adamant about it. No, I'm just kidding. He wasn't. He said you got mad at him for washing it.
He was pissed. Yeah,
I wasn't pissed. I just thought it was weird because it was upside down on the napkin on the table. Like,
because I was keeping it fucking clean for you, but like you were all pissy about it. I'm like, wash your mug. You didn't fucking even drink whiskey that night.
I did drink whiskey that night.
Not out of the cup.
I did it out of the cup.
No, I watched you.
You did not watch me.
I did watch you.
I've drank whiskey out of this cup every day since Corny gave it to me.
No,
Every damn day.
Every damn day.
In the studio.
In the studio. What did boy be talking about in the studio?
On the phone.
Man. No, you gave me a look. I saw the face. You gave me like a Billy Idol fucking, little smile.
I can't argue that, but I drank whiskey out of the cup.
You didn't.
I did.
Johnny,
We'll go to the tape.
play back the tape.
I don't know, man. I'm not going through the fucking
I'd be a
tape.
gentleman. I'd wash you fucking, face hugger, whatever the fuck, your xenomorph. The royal xenomorph is clean, Your Highness.
One thing I was...
I'd rather enjoy the bathing.
I was curious, Aries. Is it sort of like seasoning, like a cast iron skillet? Is that sort of what you want to do with that?
It doesn't hurt. It just.
I'd be nice. I'd wash my friend's mug.
Oh.
Give a xenomorph a good scrubbing.
Yeah.
We got
Now how do you wash it when you get in there? I'd really like to know.
My hands.
Did you like wash it, or did you just like rinse it out and turn it upside down?
Yeah, but
No, I put some snow on it. I put it.
You put some snow
all
on
right,
it.
all right, but you wash it with your hand now.
Yeah.
Now demonstrate how you wash it with
No,
wash that
no.
part of it with your hand.
All right, give me a mug.
No,
I
you want to see him molest the alien?
I want to see him do this.
I'm not gonna fucking
I
stroke a
don't, 'cause and
xenomorph.
it's still whiskey in here. This is.
All right. Well, when the whiskey's done, man,
Then we're going home.
I just want. All right. How about this? Pretend this is the xenomorph sticking out of the mug.
You got like some
This part
bizarre
here.
fetish going on.
Now-
You want
now-
to see him rub something off.
No. I just want to know now and demonstrate how you wash the xenomorph that's sticking out of his cup.
The only thing that should happen before you said that is, are you over 18?
All right. Are you over
Do you-
18?
do you polish
Mark,
it?
good. Now show us how you scrub the.
So you want to be in movies, don't you?
Do you polish the head of the xenomorph?
That's fucking
You are on the
weird.
casting couch.
Well, I am on the couch. Yeah, I know, but I'm not gonna give a fucking mallet a hand job.
It's the cast iron couch.
Do it. All right.
Yeah.
So you're admitting that by saying that you're admitting that you gotta like treat it like it's some sort of a phallic.
Okay, everyone realizes you're trying to get him to rub off the hammer. Don't even try to play like.
Well, Fred Williamson is happy right now.
Yeah, ain't that fucked up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cut to Family Guy, like cut scene.
Damn.
Wow.
No, I'm just interested to see how you would go about washing that. I just find it. I find it interesting.
That's
I
premium content right there.
Saw me washing dishes when you came in.
No, I didn't.
You did.
Oh, I did see you. Yeah, were you washing the cup?
I wouldn't because Aries gets mad at me. But I wasn't fucking filleting a fucking.
Xenomorph?
Yeah.
You're not filleting something. You're fucking washing something. Why are you being so perverted about it?
You're the one really being perverted here.
Yeah,
You want to watch it.
I'm just wondering how he washes it. That's
This is
all.
fucking weird because last week he was yelling Peter North at me 3 times in a fucking row. And now he wants me to fucking give a mallet a handy. It's fucking weird.
No, you're being perverted now. I'm just interested to
You're
know
being perverted
how
now.
you scrub, how you would wash the xenomorph in Aries' cup.
I'd put some water in it.
Yeah,
I put some soap in it.
right.
I would swish it around like I was at a fucking tasting.
Okay, you
I
guys
put
are
some
really
more
making
water
this
in, I'd
weird.
dump
I'm
it
going to
out.
stop using the cup soon. This is, stop drinking from the bottle. Jesus Christ.
Corny's going to be pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna be offended if you don't use that cup.
Like,
He's going to be pissed at you for making it weird.
yeah.
I'm just wondering how he would go about washing the xenomorph in his cup. That's all. There's nothing to read into with that.
I will
There
say-
kind of is.
Of all the things that you could peel the back the curtain on your boy Raven Shadow, washing dishes isn't one of them, man. There's so many weird fucking things.
Oh, believe me, I'm well aware of that.
yeah. Yeah, no, on the rocks is fine.
That's what I thought you said.
I mean, would you go like this?
Oh,
or, I
Jesus.
mean,
Wow.
Oh, jeez.
Weird.
It's only a matter of time before he starts like tickling your balls with his toes under the table.
Don't as long as you don't
I didn't do anything. Not
as long as you don't unplug the computer again.
Yeah, right.
So, nothing perverted about what I'm asking. It's a very simple, straightforward question, and you refuse to answer it.
It sounds like Congress.
Yeah. Oh man, comes to the cow.
Congress of the Xenomorph. Jesus.
It could be an episode title. That's fucking weird, man. It's a weird show.
Just inquiring. That's all.
You know, we can get all soapy too. I mean, if I can really get wet. We get wet when we take a shower, you know.
Oh, you're going to take a shower like you normally do? Get in and then turn the water on?
I do that. I was doing that today. It's so funny.
You do it every day, you said.
I know, and I think about it every day now. Since that, I'm like, these guys are fucking weird, man. I just fucking.
No, you're weird.
No, you're weird.
You're weird.
Why?
It's not
Who
fucking
the hell
freezing.
does that? You know who does that? You
Him
know who
and,
does that?
Him and CM
You-
Punk.
No.
Yeah.
You no.
What?
Him, this guy,
Me.
and the chick from Psycho, and you know what happened to her.
I'm fucking waiting for that to fucking happen.
No,
It never
no, it's-
happens.
People in movies
Marion
and this
Crane.
asshole. That's it. Because you know what? Most normal people, their fucking water has to heat up.
Marion Crane and Michael Raven Shadow.
Thank you.
And you know what happened to Marion Crane in Psycho?
I know, and
She got knifed to death.
I know nothing ever happens when I take a shower. But no, I mean, I like to. Sometimes I need a little boost to wake up too and see what's going on. You know, sometimes
See
I run.
what's going on.
Yeah.
You don't go into a shower to wake up. You go into a shower to relax and get clean.
Well, I got a little small window for I go to the work job, and I need to sometimes a little boost. Sometimes night times things are going on, and I don't wake up so easy, so I need a little help.
Now, do you take hot showers, medium showers, or cold showers?
Yeah, no, I'm hot,
Hot. Okay.
Well, it starts off cold.
Yeah,
Then
the
you get-
first minute
yeah.
is cold.
but no, I got a booster tank downstairs to really pump the fucking the water.
when you
in.
turn the water on, it's hot. Right? Right off the bat? Hot?
Well, I
That's
mean,
what
a
you're
little
saying?
second of cold, but I need that.
It's
like,
cold, so when it turns on, you go like, woo, 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 woo.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I'm sober now. Oh shit.
Raven Shadow, are you upset that when I took a shower at your place last time I was there, that I didn't do that?
Well, I mean, to be fair, I didn't quite know what you did. The door was closed.
You weren't looking through the peephole?
Yeah, no, I mean,
He could have been sticking his ass in the shower first.
Good for you.
He could be walking in backwards for all we know.
I wanted to. Johnny is a fantastic house guest. It is so self-contained.
He was able to turn the shower on
Yep.
from outside,
Yep.
step into the shower without getting any water on the floor on the outside.
I did. I put the
I wasn't even
I,
here, and I know he was able to do that.
I put
That's
the,
good. I appreciate that.
I put the towel down like you said, though.
Thank you, Johnny.
Now, Wolfie, did you take your shower before or after him?
I don't remember, honestly.
All right, well, if you took it after him, then the water would still be warm. All right. Otherwise, if he took it before you, he would do the smart thing and turn it on.
Yeah.
Wait a few seconds for the water to turn turn warm or
Yeah.
hot, and then step inside. Or are you just being so Scrooge-minded that you're thinking that if you wait 10 seconds with the shower running, you're wasting water?
No, because I waste so much things. So it's not a waste factor. It's just I don't like coming into something already going on. I'd rather brace.
Then why are you late for the show every week?
Yeah.
What I said.
Did you don't like coming into something that's already going on?
Oh no, in terms of like fluid coming at. No.
That's
I don't like,
fucking good.
That's funny.
God damn it.
No, I just I don't want to get water on the floor. I don't want things to drip unnecessarily.
And exactly how
But-
much water do you think hits the floor? Wow, I mean, how crazy is your shower head?
I'm fucking crazy. I'm silly in the shower. I'm nuts.
No, not you.
I
Your
do
shower
pirouettes.
head. Is your shower head like spraying all over the place like a water wiggle that
Yeah,
it ends
it's
up
like-
on the floor?
Yeah, it's like a fucking 17-year-old on prom night.
Raven Shadow, I think you got some pressure issues.
What are we talking about?
He's got issues. all right.
Water pressure. It doesn't come out very hard.
Well, I'm on a fucking hill, dude. I got a fucking boom tank.
You
You got
could buy a new,
pressure?
you could buy a new shower head. That's what I did at my new place. The water pressure sucked. I got a high powered head, and it's fucking awesome.
All right, I'm a big
Yeah.
fan of high-powered head. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
Now go back to the xenomorph and start washing that.
You are
damn
so
thing.
fucking weird, dude. Somehow you got weirder. Like,
Every week. Oh, it's that.
yeah, everything else was normal.
It's that one-use plastic bottle, MZ.
Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah. Oh shit. Aquaman's gonna be fucking
Yeah,
pissed at
Aquaman's
you.
gonna
Yeah,
be
don't
pissed.
give me that shit. Don't tell me that you don't have any plastic bottles in
Yeah, I
your
knew this was
refrigerator.
gonna happen.
Don't tell me you don't.
Let's see. Gatorade. That's it.
Gator. All right, well, that's
Yep.
still one.
Yep.
Yeah, that's still one.
Okay, what are you doing with those bottles when you're done with them?
I recycle them. I have been recycling for years.
What do you
In fact,
recycle them? You don't bring those with us when we leave.
You recycle my.
Isn't that recycling?
No, it's not. It looks like it has recyclables in there,
Yeah.
but I don't really recycle them.
You don't
I-
recycle?
No,
He
I
pretends.
thought about it.
I'm sorry. Are you forgetting all the arguments I had with him at the studio about throwing shit in the recycling bin?
Yeah. We tried doing it back in like 2011, and then I realized that my hourly rate, even though I'm salary, isn't worth the hourly time to. Well, sorry, Aquaman's be pissed at me to do that. So I have a recycling trash bin, but I don't really recycle.
So why do you separate them?
It's a nice.
Make you feel
Give
better?
him something to do. He's bored during the day.
Make you feel better about yourself?
No, I think if people feel. I don't know. I just
I recycle all the time. When I recycle all the time. And I started recycling straws some time ago, and I woke up to that when I saw that terrible video of the I think it was a tortoise that had one of those. I think it was a straw lodged in its nostril.
Nose, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, it sucks,
I mean the poor thing. I mean, and I saw that, and I'm like, yeah, that's not cool. So, I mean, I still use plastic straws, but I recycle them. You know, and also with the 6-pack holders.
See, we did
Those
that back.
plastic things.
Yeah,
I cut those to ribbons, man.
We did that in the '80s, man, for Captain Planet. You know,
See,
the world's.
I just got to ask. I know I'm the vegan in the room, but why fucking bother, MC?
What do you mean?
I know you're allergic to fish, but you would eat fish if you could. Why bother saving the fucking plastic?
Why? I would not eat fish even if I could.
Why
Smells
not?
Fishy. Because it smells fishy.
Oh, but you're okay eating other animals.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dick.
Dick. So you're getting to this recycling thing. What are you saying?
I'm just saying, like, why fucking bother? You
Bother with what?
want to save the fucking aquatic life, but
yeah,
but you don't give a fuck about the cows. So why bother?
Yeah. Fuck them all.
Is it better to save one species than none?
Well, some species are better than others. Let's be fair.
Yeah, see, that's what he's getting at. Is why are you picking and choosing which animals you're saving?
Yeah,
because there's only certain ones that I can eat. That's right,
ladies and gentlemen. Monster Zero.
Monster Zero.
That's certain ones I can eat.
He protects peanut butter and fish.
Yeah, you protect the ones that you're allergic to. It's like some kind of weird fucking sacrifice.
I can't eat seafood, but I would help them. No, I would help fish.
Wait, you used to be allergic to chicken and turkey. Did you save them back in the day, and now you don't anymore?
That's right.
Yeah. Now you get drunk because it's fucking ate the fucking KFC prize pack.
Yeah, exactly. The KFC bowl. MZ doesn't find this funny.
Wait, what are you busting my balls for? Weren't you eating a pizza last week?
Yes, I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was vegan pizza.
It's vegan pizza, dude.
Vegan cheese?
Yes.
So you had plastic on your pizza then?
Yeah.
It looked good.
Well, it's better than going in the ocean.
I was excited. I was marveling at your meals. I was excited. I saw he had 3 fucking meals there.
Yeah,
it was nice.
You were asking about him. You were kind of into him.
Yeah.
I was actually kind of impressed when we got you on the screen. You're wearing an AEW shirt? Are you wearing an AEW shirt?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like this is like the first time in a long time I haven't seen him wearing something that says, "Hi, I'm a vegan," on his shirt.
That's not even funny because I don't have anything like that.
The hell you don't?
I have like band shirts and like some wrestling shirts and like some...
and a couple of vegan shirts.
I do not.
Yes,
I have a vegan.
You have a vegan bakery shirt, dude.
There's one shirt you
yeah,
wore
it
one
says
time.
vegan treats.
One time.
Yeah, it's either Anthrax, wrestling, or like fucking Testament. Like, like the one time you wore grown-up pants.
Yeah.
Still wearing grown-up pants.
All right, Spider Bite.
That's fucking weird. Yeah.
Kevin Nash, fucking, like that's if MZ was if Kevin Nash was like fucking Spider-Man. Tore his quad and got bit by a radioactive spider.
Oh, you stick to walls? No, I just fucking fall down when I went to the ring. I have a really bad infection, and I just need to see a doctor.
Since you're watching, yes, I'm feeling a lot better.
Yeah, good. We're glad.
I can tell.
Oh shit.
Let's talk about a movie.
Oh, Anthony says that's a vegan Baltimore Orioles AEW shirt, FYI.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I just want to say, pal, I want to say thank you. I got the new Oscar Christmas card. It's on the fridge right now. It's making me smile.
Nice. I haven't got mine yet. I'm looking forward to it. The last year's was pretty outstanding.
I still have it. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I do save my Christmas cards. So
I know
have,
you have Christmas cards on your refrigerator from years ago.
It's true. Yeah.
Now, I love how you say you save them. Well, really, in reality, you're just too lazy to take them off the fridge.
No, I recycle. I replace.
No, you don't recycle. We just established this.
Yeah, no, but I
It's
save.
it's the illusion of recycling.
Yeah. It's like I put your recycling thing, Raven Shadow. No, you did.
You make everyone else feel good. But
Yeah.
know, you carry that fucking dirty secret.
I carry the burden for them,
Yes.
Johnny.
Yes, you do.
I have all this stuff, and no one knows the struggle that I have to take on to make you guys fucking happy.
Okay, Randy.
Carrying one bag of trash to the curb rather than two. That's your struggle.
Yeah, well, no, it sucks. Yeah,
you don't know my struggle.
yeah. My guys are good. My guys are definitely mobbed up, allegedly. But yeah, you don't got to recycle shit. I throw paint in there. I don't give a fuck. Wrap it up.
Oh shit! Blast from the past in the Facebook chat. Tiny White comments,
What?
and he says cram jam sounds like a flavored sexual lubricant.
Ooh, raspberry cram jam.
Cran jam.
Yeah.
Yeah, raspberry cram jam.
Yeah. I like cinnamon cram jam.
Do you?
when he-
Does that burn?
No, it's. Oh, I don't want to talk about it.
That's the new cinnamon challenge.
Anthony told me the check is in the mail, Wolfenstein. I can't wait. And he says that he has a partner with Photoshop superpowers, hence the Christmas cards.
That's great. It's fucking great. Do one for Ollie.
Oh, Ravenshot, I met a dog named Ollie the other day. I was taking Ozzy for a walk, and we met an Ollie.
Oh, what's the breed?
What's the read? He's cool.
The breed.
Oh,
The
I thought you
breed.
said, what's the read?
I heard Reed too.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
know
What does
that
that
meant.
mean?
I don't know.
No,
I thought you meant like how did I feel about him? How did I read him?
Yeah, was he an asshole? Is my Ollie better?
He was a little spazzy. He was a puppy, so he was a little spazzy. But I actually don't know what breed. He's similar to your Ollie, but had some black. So I know it wasn't the same breed. So I don't know.
Maltese.
Maybe. All right, so I don't even know what the fuck this is.
What the fuck happened?
Yeah, I
How
don't
about we
know
do
what-
a short intro because we have two fucking movies to fucking discuss.
Yeah, we're gonna. So we will kind of put a cap on things here. Here's a kappa.
Yeah.
We're gonna be quoting that movie all fucking night now.
We've been doing this since fucking '85. What's
I
gonna
know,
stop?
I know. Yeah, exactly.
Like we're on the verge of 2020, and we'll still be like, fucking the bitch need my nuts. Like, you know what I mean?
So, if you so if you guys want to help support the show, head on over to patreon.com/trickortreatradio, and I think we're gonna try and do something fun for the rest of the month. I want to give a big shout out to all of our Patreon supporters. So I think what we'll do is everyone who is a Patreon supporter, starting at the beginning of December, and all the way. So basically, at the end of December, all of our Patreon supporters will get a gift, something that's not laid out on the Patreon. We're gonna do something. So if you guys want in on this, we're gonna send out a little sort of package, just a small little thing, nothing extravagant, nothing. I don't want people to, think it's gonna be something crazy, but we're gonna send out some stuff, and so I'll probably be hitting people up for some addresses and whatnot. But we appreciate all of our patrons, so want to make sure that they feel loved and we get them something. So if you guys have been on the fence and you want to get in on that, head on over to patreon.com/trickortreatradio. And if you're a Patreon supporter by the end of December, you will also get something. So Christmas gift, you help us, we help you.
Johnny, can I add one more thing?
Yes.
Might be a surprise before we talked about it.
Yes.
We've forgotten about Corny naming the Raven Chateau.
Yep.
So it has been crazy, to beat a dead horse. The move, new studio. I know my day job is crazy this time of year, so we do apologize, but we are making things happen.
Yeah, we'll get Corny will get something a little extra. He's a Patreon supporter, so he will get something anyways, but we'll throw in a little something extra for Corny. And also there was I don't believe we mentioned this, but we did kind of drop the ball on the initial launch of our Patreon. We wanted to do kind of a nice little thing for everyone who joined. We're going to do a raffle and pick a winner. And that was right around the time that my move happened. So everything was just crazy, from packing up the house, packing up the studio, moving, getting everything all set. So, that did fall to the wayside, and, I apologize about that. So this is sort of our thank you. Everybody's going to get something. That's sort of how we're going to make up for that. And also just because we appreciate all of our Patreon supporters. So, once again, if you guys are interested in getting in and you haven't done so, you can go to patreon.com/trickortreatradio and join for as little as $2 a month. If you guys want the exclusive audio content, including the film commentaries we just did, then you can get in on that for $5 a month. And as we've stated in the past, there's lots of stuff that costs $5 a month that you can just skip for a month, and that's your thing. That's your payment right there. So that's the best way to support. However, there's a few other ways you can do so. I know Black Friday is now in our rearview mirror. Apparently no one died, right, MZ? To our knowledge. Sadly, no.
No, there were a lack of fights, a lack of a whole bunch of chaos that could have ensued over the weekend, but it never happened.
You should have just went into like a fairly populated area and just yelled, "I got Popeye's chicken sandwiches!"
Well, it's true. More people died getting a chicken sandwich than a fucking flat screen TV. I mean, I expected like the department stores to be like Jonestown by the time things were done.
Jesus.
But it never happened. I was pissed.
You were pissed. You were pissed that people didn't die. What a guy.
That'd be funny, giving out free samples at like a Walmart, like during Black Friday, and it's all fucking the Kool-Aid. Here's a free sample. And buy it. If somebody wants to get out of work early, motherfuckers made me work on Black Friday. Put some fucking Drano in their fucking Kool-Aid. That's a fucking script right there.
Yeah, no, see, I mean, this past Black Friday was a disappointment.
Not for me, man. I watched a whole bunch of movies.
Well, it's because they started earlier and earlier. It's basically now Thanksgiving,
Yeah, it is Thanksgiving. And in fact, they even started. There was one where they started even before Thanksgiving. They started Wednesday.
It's fucking stupid. It's stupid.
Yeah, it is. The whole thing is dumb, And anybody who participates in that is just worthless to me.
Jesus. Well, all right. Let's the thoughts of Monsters Hero do not reflect the thoughts of everyone else. We did buy the studio computer last year on Black Friday, and we got a pretty good deal on it. So
the same got unplugged.
No, different one.
Evil Corny says Aries is getting the mug Xenomorph drunk.
Yeah.
And he also said thanks, guys. Yeah, of course, Corny. We didn't forget about you, buddy. It's just been so crazy. We'll definitely take care of you. And
Raven Shadow, mail that stuff right out.
No, we're gonna coordinate Aries. No, I'm gonna set up like a little fucking little sweatshop in the basement.
Ollie's gonna be packing him up.
Yeah, no, we're gonna have a little factory going on. I'm gonna get some workers.
Oh, you're gonna end up packing up Ollie and mailing Ollie.
No, I ain't fucking. You make it Chloe. You make it my cat.
Oh man, but you got to start taking care of that cat.
Yeah, well, why don't you fucking come over on Saturday? No, my nice little shirts I'm getting.
All you got to do, Raven Shadow, is just pet Chloe. That's all you got to do. Pet her.
Yeah, I go right to her and she loves it. But you got to get those little hair knots out of it.
I know. Yeah, no, we're doing that this weekend.
Do that.
Mary's coming over. Yeah,
Poor thing. I mean, that's not good for her.
And by we, you mean Marion is doing it.
You can help. No, you're gonna hold her.
You're gonna drink.
Can't be. No, you can't. She's very like fucking. Yeah. So you gotta like hold her down and cut her. She's a long-haired cat. You know what I mean?
Oh shit!
Stan?
Marion says, "Don't worry, you guys. I spent $600 on your Amazon. Holy shit, that's amazing."
Wow.
There's
So we should get somewhere about what, $3?
maybe
$3 Canadian.
maybe six, maybe six. Oh man, Tim Nice is hanging out. Says MZ,
Thank you, though.
can I borrow that short for Christmas party Saturday? I may need to have it let in slightly.
Everyone's a jokester around here. Yeah. So, can we start reviewing films now? We got 2 of them. To
discuss films.
Yes. All right. So, yeah, the ways you can support us, just like Marion did, you can use our Amazon affiliate link. Just head on over to trickortreatradio.com, scroll down, look for the Amazon logo, click it. It'll bring you right to Amazon. Input our affiliate code, and everything you purchase in that session gets attributed to us. Doesn't cost them any extra, Raven Shadow.
But it's another way to help keep the lights on.
There you go. So, I know a lot of people are still doing some shopping. Maybe they're going to get some gift cards from Amazon. And also, speaking of which, this kind of dovetails into this. If anyone out there is thinking about starting a podcast, we also have an affiliate link through Buzzsprout, which has been our host for the entirety of the show over 7 years now, and has hosted all of the shows that I have produced, whether it's been, the Force Insensitive Star Wars podcast, whether it's been the Five Hossmen, whether it's been Unchained, any of the other shows, all use Buzzsprout. I've never had an issue with them. They're fucking awesome. So if you guys are looking for a good podcast host and you want to get in on some of that action, we have a link in the show notes. If you just, however you find the show, just go ahead and look at the notes, and down at the bottom it says start your own podcast, and you can click that link right there. And if you do so, we get a pretty decent cut. And you just for signing up, you get a $20 Amazon gift card. So if you're looking to start a podcast, they will basically give you a $20 Amazon gift card if you sign up for a paid account. So if you're thinking about taking the jump and get into the podcast biz, then there's no better way to do it. We get a cut of that, and you get $20. So go ahead and give that a look if you want. And finally, trickortreatradio.com. We have a store. You can get the Trick or Treat Radio Greatest Hits Volumes 1 through 3. Buy them digitally. Go ahead and check those out, and we'll get some other stuff on there. So trickortreatradio.com, and just click on the store. All right, Raven Shadow.
Yes.
So you sit down. I don't know which movie you watch first, but what did you do to prepare for this year's December Cram Jam?
Oh, fucking Johnny, I was excited. We're going to do some premium content. Black Friday weekend, watched a bunch of movies I want to talk about. Can't do it now, but I got a lot of science to drop at a later date. But then I kind of had my heart broken because you had to leave early. You were in town. You lost you, and then the fucking first fucking snowstorm hit fucking December fucking what, 3rd, 2nd, 1st? Yeah. Fuck you. You know what I mean? So we got walloped here in the New England area. And it's like the fucking shoveled once, 4 fucking times I fucking shoveled over 2 fucking consecutive nights. It really sucked. At one point, I'm coming inside from snow blowing, take my gloves off, to fucking look at my phone, smoke a butt, put my fucking gloves back on. For some reason, 2 pairs of gloves, I'm like fucking OJ in the fucking courtroom. It won't fit at all. And why? Like, I'm trying to I don't know if my hand was like fucking too wet.
Wet and swollen.
My hands were so wet and swollen, I have my fucking glove on. You know what I mean?
Easy with that motion. MZ's going to get excited.
Yeah, shit. So, he gets excited, and I got a fucking shovel. Then every day I shovel was different because we got more and more fucking
Every day
snow.
shoveling.
Yeah. And then fucking sit down and give a fuck. I'm leaving it'll fucking melt. So I got a bad mood. My back was hurt. 2 movies to fucking watch. My friend had to leave early. Aries didn't show up for the fucking Patreon. He's shoveling. Not your fault. I'm not blaming you. You're doing probably God's stuff. You're doing God's work. Your work.
God's work.
And God's work. Some there. Wet, swollen hand.
Oh, God.
Snow.
Yeah.
2 fucking movies. I had to fucking get in the house, get warm. Put the fucking, what do you call that? Space heater on.
Jesus Christ.
This is almost as long as one of the movies.
Oh shit! I had to fucking get ready, put my fucking jammy jams on.
Oh my god.
I strapped on.
Greetings! We are the Retro Reductopus Cephala Podcast, the bi-weekly show that celebrates all the things that made growing up awesome.
He's right. We wax philosophic about lots of geeky crap like old video games and movies, toys, cartoons. I don't know, help me out here.
Music, pants, quoting video games that don't have dialogues, shabibers, tasty news,
Unnecessarily long Japanese onomatopoeia.
butt breathers, uncomfortable nature facts.
or how to install a thermoflange.
And unlike all those other podcasts, we at Retro Redoctopus have an exciting rotating host schedule.
Do we? We sure do.
So, if you didn't like the guy flapping his gums this week,
Like me.
worry not, gentle listener. Next week we'll have a whole new host.
Of problems.
Hey, they might still suck, but they'll suck differently.
And you know what's really cool? Retro Reductopus is part of the Inebriard Podcast Network, with new episodes out every Tentacle Tuesday.
Which is like every other Tuesday. We named it.
Anyways, you can listen to us at iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, or straight from the tab, reductopus.buzzsprout.com.
This is Chocolate Beast. You're listening to Trick or Treat Radio, but you should be eating nougat.
Oh, delicious nerds. Ms. M knows you like to chat it up with other sexy shut-ins about comics, movies, video games, and your favorite TV shows. If that sounds like you, cuddle up to the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group, or the FIB. That stands for Fan Interaction Board. Just go to Facebook and search for Trick or Treat Radio and have more fun than a Jedi at a lightsaber sale. Not enough? Watch us on YouTube, The Deadites TV, all one word. Last but not least, check out the world's most dangerous talk radio show, Trick or Treat Radio, at trickortreatradio.com.
I could be standing outside a woman's prison in a fistful of 50s and a bouquet of dildos, and no woman would come near me.
Did you say a bouquet of dildos?
All right. We're back on Trick or Treat Radio.
Boy.
Oh, dear God, the entire break, he wanted to know how we wash this mug still.
It's
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Well, first of all, you guys are making it sound more graphic than it is. I'm just saying. I'm just wondering how you would wash the mug. You know, how Raven Shadow would wash the mug. And he said that.
How would you wash it?
Well, I'd give it 2 twists.
2 twists.
Yes, 2 twists with nice soapy hands.
Give it a tug, rub and tug.
Tug? Why would you tug it? It doesn't go anywhere. It's ceramic, for fuck's sake. You freak. Weirdo.
I think that may do it. I think I may have to retire the mug now. I'm sorry, Corny.
Oh, shit. All right. We're going to talk about Ready or Not first. And this film is rated R, is 95 minutes. It's a comedy horror mystery. And it is directed by Radio Silence. It's actually 2 of the 3, Matt Bettinelli-Olpin and Tyler Gillette. It is written by Guy Busick and Ryan Murphy. And the film stars Samara Weaving, Adam Brody, Mark O'Brien, Henry Zerny, Andy McDowell, Melanie Scrofano, Christian Brune, and as Aunt Helene, Nikki Guadagni. And the synopsis A bride's wedding night takes a sinister turn when her eccentric new in-laws first force her to take part in a terrifying game. So this one had a theatrical release. Let me just check on that. It was August 21st, so that was a very short turnaround for the VOD. So yeah, August 21st hit theaters and just recently hit VOD. And this is one I was kind of looking forward to. I wanted to see it in theaters. It just never happened. So I was looking forward to doing this one on the show. And there's been some pretty good positive stuff that I've seen about it. And that's why we decided to check it out. So, and also just to follow up, Radio Silence is the team behind the movie Southbound that we liked quite a bit.
Oh, yeah.
And they've done a couple other things as well. They did some segments in VHS, and they did a film called Devil's Due from 2014, which I didn't end up seeing. But did you see that, MZ, by chance?
Sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Sounds familiar. Not sure if I've seen it or not, though. But
so I just want to get the other. Chad Villella, I think Chad Villella, Tyler Gillette, and Matt Bettinelli-Olpin. Those are the three that comprise Radio Silence, and we did have them on the show. Let me see if I can find out what episode that was if people want to go back. But I think it was shortly after Southbound, and it was right after they launched their podcast, which is called The Crawl, which I actually feel bad. I haven't. They listened to it and then they went on a hiatus. I don't know if they came back, so they could just have been busy with this, So I don't know for sure, but that was a pretty cool. They talked to sort of not the stars of the films or the main filmmakers, but like the people behind the scenes, the makeup artists and producers and stuff like that. So I thought that was it was kind of a cool way to visit it. But it was episode 224, In a Valley of Radio Silence, where we reviewed the film In a Valley of Violence and also talked to the guys over at Radio Silence. So,
oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
you did.
So that was. Yeah. I think that was a fun show. So you guys can go ahead and go back and listen to that one if you want to hear Radio Silence, the directors of Ready or Not. All right, so let's jump into this film. Now, were any of you guys excited about this one? Did you know anything about the film heading in?
This movie, I saw a trailer for this sometime in the summertime. I stumbled upon the full-length trailer on YouTube and was super excited about it because it looked very, very good. Okay. And then as the theatrical release approached and they started showing very limited TV spots, which are a lot shorter, the TV spots looked atrocious. Like it was like, I couldn't believe it was the same movie. I was like, wow, this looks terrible. So I'm like, are they showing us all the good things about this movie in the 2-minute online trailer? So I was very hesitant about this movie, seeing that a full-length trailer looked good. A 30-second trailer looked atrocious.
That's kind of odd. That's kind of odd. I never saw any of the teasers or trailers or commercials for this movie at all. And I like going in blind like that.
Right.
I prefer that. And whether now this is a good movie or not will remain to be seen. But I do like to keep myself in the dark when it comes to, films that we're reviewing. Obviously the movies that we are big time, highly anticipating, we'll watch trailers for, but those kind of films are in a different echelon. It's movies like this, I like to stay in the dark.
Well, partially in my defense, I'm talking the summertime. I didn't know we were going to review this in December. I just stumbled upon this. If I had known that, hey, 4 months from now, we're going to review this movie, I wouldn't have watched any of the trailers. Mm-hmm. So it was just one of those things, because I am of that mindset where I will not look into a movie very limited, if at all, when I find out we're going to do it.
So, yeah, so this one, This is, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. There's not a whole lot of plot to sort of digest, but I thought the opening to this was good. I think it had a little bit of foreshadowing of some things that we could expect later on, and it showed off the house. I was definitely getting Clue vibes from the house, which
Oh yeah, totally.
which I loved. I mean,
Oh yeah.
Which is kind of funny. I mean, when we watched this, and it was actually the weekend that what was it, Knives Out was coming out, which is definitely seems like a modern day Clue kind of thing. With a big ensemble cast.
Oh yeah, exactly. I agree. When I saw the house and I saw this cast, this totally reads as a whodunit.
Yeah.
Totally reads as a whodunit. You got the huge house, very eccentric characters, very you can easily, they're easily pointed out to be different from everybody else. They're very, very separate, but also all attaining into one, possible goal. Very colorful characters too, I might add, which is a big plus.
You're talking about this, not Knives Out, right?
I'm talking about this movie.
Okay.
Yeah. I haven't seen Knives Out yet. I want to see Knives Out.
It sounds like you're talking about Knives Out.
Yeah.
No. That's just it. It's just like I haven't seen Knives Out, but it's just like in that sense.
Because both
Big,
have Chris
huge
Evans.
house,
Yeah.
rich, wealthy assholes, very eccentric, and very colorful characters. This movie reads like a whodunit, even though it isn't.
But I disagree because you know who did it. You know who's doing it.
Well, that's what I just said. It's not a whodunit.
I thought you said it was a whodunit.
No, it reads like a whodunit. Just by the characters and Johnny, shut up. It's the way the characters are. With their eccentric ways, wealthy attitude.
I don't want to get hung
ideas.
up, but I'm getting Aries.
Yeah, don't
Should
say who done it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
You'll
throwing him off.
eliminate.
It's throwing him off.
Yeah, well, it's just because it's not at all.
I know it isn't. I said it by the characters and the house. It reads like a whodunit, but it's not a whodunit.
Johnny.
I just said that. Jesus.
Stop saying those words, or we won't have any more problems.
Ollie, unplug the computer again.
Yeah, no shit. So yeah, I think it had obviously it was a great location, great house that they filmed in. I think that really lends itself well to what they're trying to accomplish with a wealthy family. Now, how that family came into wealth is interesting and part of the backstory. And I don't know if you guys got this. I mean, I don't know if it was intentional or if I was reading too much into it, but it was almost like that whole thing was like when you read the instructions of a new game you just got, and it gives you sort of like a kind of like a high level sort of like description about what the game is, or like a background about it. Like I felt like that was like reading the instructions, and they were kind of going through the rules and stuff like that. So I thought that was kind of a cool thing that they did. And and then we find out how the family came into wealth. And it was La Domas, the whichever great-great-grandfather or whatever of the La Domas family, met someone named Mr. LaBelle. And he basically says, if you can figure out this puzzle box, I will fund your next endeavor, or whatever. He would fund anything. And so they're on a boat. As long as Mr. La Domas was able to figure out the puzzle box, he would have something, like his next great idea funded by Mr. LaBelle. Now, obviously I had to do some digging into this because the names are very interesting, right? LaBelle and La Domas.
Right.
So they're anagrams, as you might expect. And since this is a game, and it's almost like it puts it out there for you to kind of figure out some stuff. And so what I came up with was for LaBelle is Belial.
Oh shit!
And not the basket case Belial.
Or the house party Belial.
Yeah, exactly. So, but Belial is basically like the personification of a devil. Of in the Hebrew Bible, it became the personified name of the devil. So that's essentially made a deal with the devil, which I think makes a little bit more sense when you think of the rules of this game, right? And so Mr. Ladomas, and this was actually, so I didn't see the director say anything about Belial, but they did mention Asmodeus, and that's with the Domas.
Dumas. Hesh.
What?
Du hast.
And so let me see so Asmodeus is a prince of demons. So it just is a little bit of foreshadowing there about what's going on. And so I thought that was kind of fun. It almost gives the viewer a little game and to try to dig a little bit deeper into what's going on. So, of course, that's how they got their wealth. Mr. Lodomas had obviously was able to, figure out the puzzle box and got very wealthy off of that. So I think I got that wrong. It's not Asmodeus.
Asmodal?
Asmodel, yeah. I think that's it. Let me just double check on that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's related to. I think it's a fallen angel, if I'm not mistaken. So I'll look that up in a sec though. But so yeah, just kind of interesting how that played out. And they go through the rules, and basically what happens is when you marry into this family, you have to play a game at midnight on the night of your wedding on your wedding night. So anyone who's joining this family has to play a game. And the interesting thing is, you basically get the puzzle box, and it you just kind of like it spits out a card, and it's based on the character who is joining the family, like their sort of their personality, like it's related to their personality. So there's the one who got old maid, because he was kind of a dummy, like he's like, isn't that a kid's game, and all the ones that they got were very reminiscent of their personality. And so in this case, since the main character played by Samara Weaving, what was her name, Grace, she was sort of this independent, like she didn't come from wealth. She kind of didn't really care about being wealthy. It was just, she just wanted to be with her, with her husband. And so I think that's why she wasn't going to play ball essentially with this family. Like she didn't really care about the money. She wasn't greedy. So she wasn't a fit for the family. So that's why she got hide and seek, because it was either like they wanted her, I guess LaBelle wanted her dead.
Right. And then they made a comment that card hasn't been played in a certain amount of time too, in like years.
30 years.
30 years. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yep.
So like the premise of, the husband to be. So now it's kind of fucked up, right? So everyone has, my family's crazy, kind of shit.
Yeah.
But then when you bring your wife to be and realize that you're bringing her to this ritual, it's kind of fucked up for Alex was his name, right? It was Alex.
Yeah, it was Alex. Yep.
So when the card's drawn, shit gets fucking real.
Yeah, and that's the one that he was dreading, right? Like you could tell, like, nothing to worry about. Like there was some reference to that one won't come up, So there was some foreshadowing about it, and yeah, and at the beginning of the movie, the opening scene was 30 years ago, so the last time that card was played, So
well, even the title of the movie is foreshadowing as to what card is played. So
yeah, I mean,
like hide and seek would have been too obvious, right?
Yeah, and they don't make
it.
Well, I mean,
on the nose.
It it wasn't a secret to the audience, that this was going to happen. But it was just the foreshadowing that things that are said and done in the movie.
And just to follow up on the thing I just said, it is Asmodel, and it is Asmodel's a fallen angel, so that kind of makes sense. The fallen angel making a deal with the devil to gain its wealth. So, yeah. So it's when I'm reading this from Bloody Disgusting, kind of breaks it down a little bit. They had a nice little breakdown that I saw, but when Emily's husband Fitch married into the family, Mr. LaBelle dictated his game to play was Old Maid, a card game for children. Fitch laughed off his confusion, but Mr. LaBelle pegged his personality from the outset. Like his wife, Fitch isn't the brightest bulb in the clan, but he can be counted on to give his support no matter how badly he botches it. Similarly, Daniel's wife, Charity, was tasked with playing chess by Mr. LaBelle, a game of strategy. Charity reveals herself to have been a strategic social climber with a death grip on her married into wealth. So that is also a perfect fit. And as for Grace's unfortunate receipt of the hide-and-seek card, that's also easy to understand as the movie progresses. Her tenacious will to survive and unbending moral code meant Mr. LaBelle realized she wouldn't be the soul-selling type come dawn.
Interesting.
So
yeah, so the guy in the suit, right, who had the crossbow the first time.
What, the one that played Old Maid?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the one that looked like Ortho from Beetlejuice.
Right. Yeah. Right. The other girl was the bad girl who was married to the OC, right?
Yes, yeah.
I didn't even watch, but like even watching, I'm like, it's the guy from fucking OC. I know he was kind of getting like some cred in like the early 2000s because like he was a comic fan in real life, so it was kind of like, oh, a celebrity is a comic fan when that was kind of still kind of outrageous. I forget the dude's name. But who was the dad? He looks so familiar.
I'll look him up. I didn't recognize him, but
Henry Czerny.
Yeah.
Oh, he was in Mission Impossible, Clear and Present Danger.
Yeah. He was the guy who was like, Mr. Hunt, you're very upset. And
Kittredge.
he's like, you never see me very upset.
Kittredge.
Yeah.
Pink Panther, Clear and Present Danger.
He's great. He was awesome.
Quantico.
Okay, we don't need the full recap.
I'm not giving you the full recap.
Oh, he was in MZ's favorite show, Monk.
Oh, yeah. How's he wash a mug?
Monk was a good show. Shut up.
Yeah.
So, I think
I'll
that's...
stand with you.
I've never seen it, so I can't say.
It's a good show.
But I thought that was kind of interesting that the game was reflective of the personality, and because in essence, by playing this game, you're cementing your deal with Mr. LaBelle. Like you're cementing your deal with the devil. So whenever you join this family, you have to sell your soul, in essence. And and that's why Mr. LaBelle, I guess in this case. And by the way, Mr. LaBelle is sort of like a ghost. Like we don't actually necessarily see the character, but it's mentioned that he controls the box and stuff like that. So yeah, I thought that was and the cool thing about that is that's one of those things where once again this film will work on the surface. If you just watch it, it's just this crazy family who's trying to kill the new bride in the family. But I think when you dig a little bit deeper and you see that there's a little bit more to this, it kind of makes it goes down the rabbit hole a little bit deeper, and I think it makes it a little bit more interesting. It's like one of those.
And that's what
Go ahead, Reverend Shadow.
Well, that's what I found interesting watching it. Where we've seen a lot of flicks recently, like Satanic Panic, or even the Ejaculating Wall movie with CM Punk.
Girl on the third floor. Yep.
Yeah, where
CM Spunk.
When you pulled that one out a few weeks ago.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. That would have been relevant to the episode.
I'm a slow genius. What can I say?
Yeah, well, it's the genius part.
Slow, yeah.
Yeah. Slow it down. Except for the savant part. But we've seen movies who, okay, well, this is exactly what it's going to be. Okay, yep, it's a haunted house movie, or it's the banana fucking splits. It's marionettes running amok type movie, where on one hand you're like, oh, the premise is that when you get married to the family wants to kill you at midnight or whatever the fuck. But it's always different. So it's not like every time someone brings home a girl, they're going to fucking kill her. It was specific to this character of Grace. And that's what I thought was interesting, how it is different to each person.
Oh, yeah, because I was wondering, because I was like, okay, why would you bring someone into this family if you knew you had to play hide and seek and that potentially they were going to die? It's like, okay, just fucking date her till you die. Why fucking marry her? That was why I was having trouble with this movie going in and then realizing that it was a luck of the draw thing. It's like, wow, someone really gets the fucking shaft. Like, you played old maid, I gotta fucking die? Like,
what the fuck? You're playing you're playing fucking Frogger, I'm playing fucking Grand Theft Auto, motherfucker. But like on one hand, as someone who's in a new continuity, and I think anyone can realize that, like, what a great way to not get married. Baby, I love you. I want to marry you. My family's gonna kill you. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't get married. We can date for a while. Like, it's a great out card, for a bachelor.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a great, like, oh, I'd love to marry you, baby, but Uncle Jebediah is going to shoot you with a crossbow.
If we get married, my family's going to hunt your ass.
Yeah.
You still want to get hitched?
That kind of stuff. So it's a great deterrent if you didn't want to be, married.
Yeah.
I should have thought of this years ago.
We should. You screwed the pooch.
No, it's not too late. You could say, hey, 20th anniversary, let's, or whatever it would be.
It's a weird tradition we have. We have to hunt you.
Yeah.
And I do want to. What's that?
Shut up, monster.
Yeah, go ahead, John.
Yeah. All right, as you were.
Yeah,
enough.
I totally lost track of what I was going to say now, but it I remember. I wanted to talk about Alex, the husband, the boyfriend, fiance, husband.
Oh, Daniel.
What's that?
Daniel is the husband.
No. Alex is the one who married Grace.
Oh, I'm sorry. My mistake. Yep, I screwed up.
Yeah, just because IMDb lists them in that order.
No. That isn't what I meant. That isn't how I saw it.
So Alex, like, you get some hints early on. Like, he's not like the nicest dude. He seems sweet at times, but then there's like some things where, he kind of shows his true colors. And I think, without saying too much, I think his arc definitely has a fitting end, if you will.
Yep.
And, I think obviously another thing that's very important about this is the kind of the class war. We have obviously the rich. We have the people who are kind of, that will do anything to maintain that. We have the people who, like Grace, who doesn't give a fuck, really. Like, she came from, what did she say? Like, her, was she adopted? I'm trying to remember her backstory now.
Yeah, because her family wasn't really there.
Yeah. So she just wanted a family. Like, she didn't care about the money. She wanted a family.
And who was, I mean, that I've seen that actress before. She looked very familiar.
Oh, yeah. We've done some movies with her. She was in The Babysitter. We didn't do that, but she was
Mayhem.
She was in Mayhem. Yep. She was in The Babysitter. Oh, she's going to be in Bill and Ted Face the Music.
That's right. Okay, yeah. Because I was.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right.
We looked at it with Marion because she has kind of a Margot Robbie kind of vibe to her.
Yeah,
a little bit. Yeah, I could see that. She was also in the Ash vs. Evil Dead series as Heather for a few episodes. It looks like. Yeah,
maybe I didn't get that far. I'm still on season 2.
No, then you should have seen her by now.
Yeah. So the only thing we saw her in was Mayhem, apparently. But she was in three billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri. The Babysitter.
We probably saw her in Monster Trucks.
Yes, I love 3 billboards too, but I can't. Yeah, because we did some research. But she's awesome. I do like her. She's a badass.
Oh, she plays Scarlet in the Snake Eyes spinoff.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
That's for another episode. Come on,
currently filming a movie called Snake Eyes.
Not with Nicolas Cage. Come on, that movie was dope.
Oh shit! It's got Eco from the Raid movies as Hardmaster.
Really?
Yeah.
Hardmaster's fucking awesome.
Became hard. You hard right now?
Yeah, some movement. There's some kung fu grip flowing. Really? Yeah. Oh shit. She have red hair?
I don't know. I would imagine so with the name Scarlet. She'd probably have to, right?
Fair.
So there you go.
Oh yeah. Back to the film.
Yeah. Stay on target.
Yeah, almost there.
Evil Corny says, I liked her in The Babysitter.
Yeah. She's good.
She's good. Wow.
I like her, yeah.
That boy's good. That boy's good.
They're good.
So, let's see what else we got here. It was the line was when. So yeah, I was talking about Alex, and when she found out what the game was, or a little bit more about it, and then he was like, "You're the one that wanted to get married." He was like, kind of like, putting it all on her, and it was like, I was like, "Whoa, dude!" Like, like
that was not the fucking time.
Yeah, that's when he showed his colors, I think, and and the husband gaslighting her during probably the most stressful time of her life that's not how you operate,
Not a good way to start off your marriage.
Yeah.
But even the progression too. Even though it's fucking weird, right? You get rich white people together like that is fucking scary. You know what I mean? What the fuck? But she was a team player. Was playing a fucking game. There's a point where she's like, you know what? I don't want to fucking hide anymore. It's my fucking wedding night. I'm in a fucking,
what? Don't say she was in that thing for 5 minutes tops.
Yeah.
She was not willing to play the game.
Well, there's a certain level of, okay, we'll do this.
Play the game.
Yeah.
Grace. Grace.
Part of the family.
Meet Mr. LaBelle.
I realize how often I do Triple H without even fucking doing it. I do it on the show. All the it's still fucking Hunter. I love that dude.
So, and I thought it was also interesting to see how the different characters want this status. Like, each of them sort of like went about it in a different way. The ones that entered into the family, and I also got to say I really liked. It was nice to see Andie MacDowell in this. And
she looked fantastic.
Yeah. And I liked her character, and I liked, sort of like, because she married into the family, years ago. So I thought that was kind of a nice little parallel to, sort of like have her talk to Grace and stuff. So.
And she came at it from a perspective of she's been there.
Yeah.
And she earned her title. She's definitely like an OG in the family if she's married to the the dad.
Well, you definitely could feel who married into this and who was born into this, and the amount of time, the ones that were married into it, the amount of time they spent in it.
Yeah,
like there was different levels of it, and you could feel that.
Like Fitch. Fitch was married into it. He married into it as well.
And they weren't all like carbon copy fucking psychos either. Everyone was different. I mean,
that's what made it great.
They're common, which was a huge surprise. Like this could totally be, and this could have been a great. It is what it is, flick, which we've seen, but we've already seen it before. And I think it was the characters and their different origins, the different point of entry. Like you said,
all different personalities. I mean.
And they're like, even the guys who are like, are we really fucking doing this? Like, I can't shoot this. They weren't really prepared for it. They just wanted to be rich and fucking immortal.
Yeah. Can I have a weapon from this century?
Yeah,
right. I love. I mean, the running gag. There's a certain running gag in this that I fucking adored.
Was it with Emily, the one
that was doing the coke?
Yeah, she had the gun too. Yeah. I think that was the same one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, she was great. I loved her.
Love that.
That was Charity, right? Was that Charity?
I know. I think Emily's the one who was very inept, so I can't remember if they was the same person now. Actually.
Oh no, I think you might be right. I think it might be Emily.
She has black hair. What
the
hell
no,
you do?
Charity. I mean, her name's kind of says it all. She was the one who played chess, and she would have done anything to maintain her status.
She came from the bad background. She's a bad girl and married. See,
she married Daniel. Yeah. I think one of my favorite characters though was Aunt Helene. I thought she was fucking awesome.
Oh,
She
I love her.
was
Awesome. Oh, I loved her.
all the way. I mean,
Was she grandma?
She was the aunt. She's the white-haired aunt.
Yeah.
she and that fucking hair, dude.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean that looked like Tilda Swinton on acid. You know?
But that stare that would kill 100 people.
Yeah.
Just that. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That was
She was ice cold, man. She was the best thing in the whole movie. I loved her. And to have her wielding around this giant battle axe, like
Well, it's not a first rodeo, you know what I'm saying?
Obviously not, but Jesus Christ, I mean, it's like Ares, you know, it's like you said, you know, she's got those eyes.
Oh God! During the wedding, that fucking stare, that was brutal.
Yeah.
That I would get chills if she was staring at me.
Yeah. I mean, and it's not just that; it's also the hair. The way the hair looked, it's very extreme angles and cuts on a couple of, especially the women in this movie. Their hair felt very, very
fierce.
It did. You know that severe.
They're very
like that partition down the side, but then it's cut over on one of the characters. I think it was Charity.
Clarity. Oh, not Clarity.
Clarity. You lack clarity.
That's fair.
Her hair, it had that severe cut over from the side. I mean, that just like shows you the
intensity,
how extreme and how fierce these people are, you know.
Like, I'm pretty sure the aunt was like a teacher for the dark arts one semester at Harvard. Like, she definitely came in.
Nikki Guadagni.
Yes,
if I'm saying it right.
I think it's Guadagni. Guadagni, yeah. But
It was in the Handmaid's Tale. Yeah.
I was looking up some quotes I wanted to try because she had some great dialogue, and so I found one. Emily says to her, "Aunt Helene, it's so nice to see you," and she says, "Brown-haired niece, you continue to exist." I thought like that shit was so fucking good, and she had the look. What's that?
She was his character in the movie, I think.
Yeah, she was awesome. So, and just like Ari said, just that look, you know, like it was perfect. So yeah, she, you know, and obviously with the axe, I just thought it was like perfect weapon for her. Let me see. I'm trying to see if there's any other. Yeah, I see some other quotes from her, but I'm not gonna dig for more. But yeah, she had a lot of really great lines. And
what this movie does, it really sets the tone where, and I'm harping on it, where this is exactly what you think it's going to be. But
actually, it was more than I thought it was going to be.
Agree, and that's going into on hand is that, but it's so much more.
Yeah.
And the way it even frames down to like all these cameras, well, they're shut off for the tradition, and the rules they established for this are pretty cool, and it's the differences of each character. These characters weren't just vessels, weren't just the cult family. They were all different people. That was very refreshing in this kind of setting.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they all stood out. They all had their own sort of gimmick, and I think that really worked. And there was
even down to Ortho, like whatever his name is, was
Fitch.
Fitch was on the phone in the bathroom looking how to like Googling how to shoot a crossbow.
How to shoot a crossbow.
Yeah.
Like
Raven Shadow wouldn't even think to do that.
No.
Oh, you'd be screwed if they had a crossbow.
Don't give me a crossbow. Give me something like a
bowcaster.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I so want to get a crossbow. Just hand it to you and just film you trying to figure out how to shoot it.
But you know what?
Premium content.
But you know what? I think if you were even handed a bat, you would still look up Google to figure out how to use it.
He wouldn't. He wouldn't even know how to look up Google. That's what I'm saying. If we put a crossbow in his hands, how funny would it be to watch him try to figure out how to shoot it? And don't say you're a good archer. Because shooting a bow is different than shooting a crossbow.
Yeah. A lot.
Johnny.
Fucking Hawkeye over there. You all wearing purple, aren't you?
I am like fucking Hawkeye.
And you're not good at shooting a fucking bow. I've seen you shoot a bow.
No, you haven't.
I have.
You shot a bow?
A couple times. Yeah. Bo Duke.
God.
And I was aiming for a Derek.
Okay, you know what?
Duke.
We're going to go on a little bit of a tangent. We used to shoot bows at each other years ago.
What the fuck? Why would you do that?
Arrows, yeah.
Nice.
We padded them, and it was only a 30-pound bow.
Oh
We
my
were
God.
a little stupid.
Yeah, I would say
A
you'd have
little?
to be.
Are you
nuts?
We shoot 'em up. Oh, the best was we shoot him up.
Oh, that's even better.
Pitch dark. Like what? 3 or 4 beers in, or you
Oh my
2 Zetas
God.
in.
I was 16, man.
Aries was
Shooting arrows straight to the sky.
Aries was 42.
Tanked up Aries at 16, shooting arrows up in the air.
Aries doesn't tackle the fucking short dude into a pool one day. That was
shit,
empty.
That shit hurt.
I can't believe you two are still alive.
I can't
That's
believe
fair.
it either. Oh, there's a whole episode of how I should have died. Just
Yeah. When you climb the fucking van. Oh, you fucking,
Jesus.
okay.
So,
Back to the movie. All right.
Yeah.
What's sorry? Yeah.
And so I've covered most of my stuff. The one thing I did want to call out though is when Grace decked Georgie. I thought that was fucking awesome.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes. That was beautiful.
Yeah, because that's just 180.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, shit.
Oh, how are you? Bang! You know, just
Oh,
But
it's so
but the one
funny.
scene-
Sorry, real quick, MZ. It's so funny. Literally, as I said that, Corny put it in the chat room. I watched this in the theater and felt awkward after laughing my ass off from her punching the kid.
Oh yeah. I laughed.
Oh, I fucking cheered.
I
I was
laughed.
like,
Well, I gotta know, Corny. Were you the only one laughing? Like, I would assume that the theater would just be like in a roar.
yeah, come on. This not enough kids getting punched. Well, we'll see the next film. But yeah, I was fucking fuck that kid, little fucking chisel
Yeah,
corn motherfucker.
What was
I'm surprised you didn't do more to. But
what was the other one?
part
Oh,
that-
it was Andrew Garfield. Remember in that movie, Under the Silver Lake, he punched the kid.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
all the group of kids.
The group of kids. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
beat the shit out of him. Yeah, that was great.
he fucking tuned that kid up
Yeah,
like he was fucking him again.
He really did tune him up.
Yeah.
Now the part that the part that got me queasy. There was a part that got me queasy when Grace fell down in,
Oh yeah.
and the
Or Chekhov's nail.
the
Yeah,
nail,
yeah.
and she used the hole that
You know what? I
ended up in her hand.
yeah. I had a little
to-
problem with that. I mean,
to like
the
pull
whole
herself up. Oh my!
hole was already
God.
there.
Oh,
That shouldn't have hurt.
oh, come on!
She had a hole in her hand. They established a hole in her hand.
Yeah.
She should have just slapped that down and then like come up and like looked at it and went, huh.
Yeah.
It would have been better.
It says Aries got a war.
Yeah,
Fucking-
yeah. Well, maybe her aim was
I think
off.
that would have been a better comedic thing. To realize that she just put her hand through a nail and didn't even notice.
No, that would be true. I would go along with that.
But she wasn't
But still,
like,
the whole point is that she,
But that was obvious.
it was so
obvious.
queasy.
It was so obvious that they should have swerved. They should have done that where she threw her hand down and it was nothing because it went through the hole.
But she would
that
still
would have
have
been
to-
perfect.
But she still used the hole in her hand with the
No,
nail
because she was holding her.
to hoist. Yeah, but she had to hoist herself up on the other side of her body. She had to hoist herself up.
No, because she was just holding on. I think that was a misstep where it should have just been an after reaction of going, "Oh, I have a nail through my hand that I didn't even notice."
Yeah, because
that was a comedic thing. Yes.
I don't think so, because given the situation that she was in at that time, I don't think she's going to be like, "Oh, there's a hole in my."
Were you
hand."
not paying attention to this movie where the whole fucking movie was a nod, wink, and a laugh?
Yeah, I was watching it. I was there. I just disagree with you. That's all.
Because
to a certain extent,
they
I
did
disagree.
the obvious
I
thing there.
and I got no problem with it.
I absolutely have a problem with that. When you could zig when you should have zagged, you should obviously zig.
it's fair.
Every movie.
If you say so.
Yes.
Okay.
Did you guys happen to notice what was in that pit that she was climbing out of?
There were animals and dead animals
Bodies.
and the bot.
I believe they referred to it as a goat pit.
Yes.
The goat pit.
Yes.
Yeah.
And,
So,
also
what?
the body of the guy that was bow and arrowed pre-credit sequence.
Yep.
Right.
That would be harpooned, I believe.
Now, what is the sort of like stereotypical devil worshiper sacrifice?
Virgin.
Oh yeah.
animal wise.
Goat.
Yeah.
Oh, the goat. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So I think that there was definitely some correlation there.
Well, they did make reference to that at the end.
They did, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there was some great gore in this, and there was some cool scenes that came out. Now, probably, I mean, it did have some CGI blood. Let's say that.
Yeah, most movies do these days, but I thought they did a pretty good job with the gore in this.
Right, it wasn't off-putting.
Well, I mean, there was definitely points where you needed the CGI blood.
Right.
Oh
right.
yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, there was a great scene with the girl.
Otherwise, you'd have a big cleanup scene going on.
Right. The dumbwaiter scene was pretty great. It was some good stuff in this, man. I was really along for the ride for a lot of this, man.
I like the whole Kill Bill style bride that Grace was.
Right.
You got like the part where she's like looking in the mirror. She's got sneakers on, the wedding dress, blood caked, and she's got the strap of I think they were like elephant bullets.
Yeah.
Strapped across her chest with a shotgun in her hand. So it kind of rang that whole Kill Bill bride vibe thing, which I thought, which
I thought it felt kind of unique. I thought that was kind of a really cool thing because, it felt different. I like that look.
Even the way she like cut her dress off and it wasn't perfect.
She just ripped it off wherever she could.
Yeah.
And I'll agree with it. I do love when she threw on the bandolier, she grabbed the gun and she looked at herself in the mirror and she noticed like
how much of a change.
Well, yeah, I think she just like that was the point where she realized that this is real. This is happening. I need to do this.
And it was empowering. I mean, obviously it's no secret that, women wear different shoes under their garb, you know what I mean, when they're something comfortable.
Oh yeah, well she took off her heels and she had to put on the sneakers to move beyond that.
Move better, yeah.
Yeah, because even at when it was still just a game, she took off the heels just so she could walk through the house.
Yeah.
Just because it was comfortable. There's no need to have that. I mean, the heels are more just visual. Women don't wear them because they're comfortable.
Right.
I got news for you. They're not comfortable.
But then again, people don't wear Chuck Taylors because they're comfortable either.
Yes, they do. I love my Chucks.
Yeah.
What I've tried wearing Chucks, man. They're pretty. They're pretty
not
hard.
very comfortable. Yeah.
I would disagree.
Woo!
Yeah, we go. Yeah, high five that one. Yeah. First high five of the show.
Nice.
Last high five of the show.
I mean, Converse. I mean, they're not. Granted, they were invented as tennis shoes, but as basketball shoes. But they're not really basketball shoes. No. And if you're gonna wear them as playing basketball, you're gonna turn your ankle.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But if you have the option of barefoot or Converse, you're gonna fucking wear Converse. I mean, it's just, it's the next step beyond barefoot.
Thank you.
There's no support, but you're not going to cut your foot on a fucking rock.
But yeah.
All right. We got to wrap this up because we still got another movie to talk about. Is there anything else you guys wanted to mention before we head to the verdict?
No.
Yeah, no, I think.
All right, let's head to the verdict.
Trick or treat, baby.
I wonder if people would say you're a trick or a treat.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
All right, it is verdict time. We're going to let you know whether Ready or Not was a trick or a treat and any final thoughts we may have. Let's kick it off with MZ.
You know what? I really like this movie. I like movies like this with a good cast, a good script, good location, great story, very well executed. If there's anything to nitpick, it's extremely, extremely minor. And to be perfectly honest with you, I can't find anything to nitpick here. I'm not saying it's a perfect film, but it's a fun film. I had a ball watching this. I mean, this was just a lot of fun to watch. I enjoyed the hell out of it. So yeah, that's pretty much the extent of it. I just enjoyed really liked this film. This is a treat for me.
Jesus, did you really like this film?
I loved it. I love the action. It was really great. Trick. Fuck.
Oh, for crying out loud, you two. You shut up.
All right, Aries.
I'm going to agree with MZ. This movie definitely is a lot of fun. This is exactly what I look for in a movie. Yeah. Just nonstop fun. I don't care about your length of the movie, whether it's short, long. If you keep me entertained and engaged, that's what I want in a movie. And fun movies, that is what I'm 100% on board with. And this is exactly what that movie is. This movie is. It is fun. It is. If you don't understand any of the, the little subtext with it, it doesn't matter. On the surface, a great movie. If you think about it and dive in deeper, it is a great movie. And you know what? I'm saying it, MZ. It's a great movie. So, my one problem with this movie, and this is maybe just a personal thing, the house, I did not get a feeling of the size. I have a problem with houses, like, unless you lay it out for me, I don't understand how big a house is, because I've never been in a big house. Like, I grew up in moderate houses. I live in a moderate house. We're doing the show in a moderate house. This is a house to me. The fact that movie could take place in this house, right, the one we're in right now,
it
couldn't happen.
Right.
I didn't get the vibe that it was a giant house. They didn't portray that well enough for me.
Interesting.
And even, we talked about Clue, where they made the reference to big house in Clue, big house here. Clue set it up as a game board. And if you stop and think about Clue, could not function as an actual house, which works for Clue because it is based on a game. For this movie, it doesn't work for me having all the hidden corridors.
Yeah.
It didn't establish that for me. That is my one big setback for me. But that's a personal issue. Otherwise, this movie's a huge treat. Check this out.
Rave Chatham.
Yeah, man. I've said it before. Like, on one hand, this movie is, if you're into this for the premise, check this out. But it's so much more than the premise. And I think it really comes down to the characters, the actors, and how they put their spin on it. To have a family of cult Satan worshipers who want immortality because they're greedy motherfuckers. Each one of those greedy motherfuckers are different than the other one. There's a history to each character from their various points of lineage too, from the older family, the father and his sister, the aunt that Aries talk about, and all the spawn that's either been their kids or married into the family. It's remarkably dysfunctional whether you believe in Satan or not, but it's only ramped up because of that belief in the fact they may have to kill somebody that joins the family. On one hand, too, as it progresses, you almost think like, I was even worked at the end for a moment, without giving the ending away. Like, I was kind of worked, but it was a very satisfying ending. Great characters, great gore. This is I think a word you're going to hear a lot is fun with this, in a movie about trying to kill a bride on her fucking wedding day. But this was a blast. I can't wait to see what these guys do next. And this was definitely a treat, man. Check it out.
All right, yeah, and that was actually the word that I was going to use is as well as this is a fun, lighthearted film with a sort of subtle underlying message. If you want it, it's there for you, with some class war and some decent gore. And I really liked the gamification of the movie. If I can, if you guys understand what I mean, sort of like, I like how they kind of made it into a game, and kind of told you the rules, and I thought that was cool. It had a different feel to it. And, while this isn't a new idea, sort of like, this kind of thing where everyone's trying to kill one person, I liked the sort of wrapper around it. I thought it was interesting. It set up the rules and followed them, and even sort of like made you kind of question whether the rules were legit, and then find out that maybe they were. So I thought that that was cool. It was very lighthearted, fun, and I think this is a film that a lot of people are going to dig. For some people, I could see maybe some people not digging the comedy, or maybe some people not, wanting a little bit more gore or something like that. But other than that, there's really not a lot to nitpick about this, and I think a lot of horror fans out there will find something to like in this. So, if you missed it in theaters and you haven't checked it out on VOD yet, I will recommend doing so. Check out Ready or Not. It's available on VOD everywhere now. So, give it a look.
And I absolutely loved the record.
Yeah.
The
yeah.
hide and seek record. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want a copy of that. I don't know.
Yeah, there was that, and also one other thing I didn't even mention was I loved how they were kind of like just panning around and showing all the games, like LaBelle's Gambit and like all these other things.
Yes.
I thought that was really, really cool. So I think they did a great job with this, and these guys might be a little bit too big for us to bring back now, but maybe we can reach out to them and see if there's some other things that we can talk about with them.
Tweet this. I mean, even there were archetype characters, but they weren't stereotypical characters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And everyone's motivation. The characters that started the film are very different at the end of the film, and that's for kind of all of them.
But it's a natural progression based on their motivation.
Yes.
And even though their motivations are similar, their characters progress differently, and that is great.
And there's some great surprises too.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, this motherfucker. Oh shit, no, he didn't. And that's how I watch movies where I
Yeah, because if they were all the same personality-wise, then the movie would get boring awfully quick.
Right.
Oh yeah, and they could have very easily just had, 6 stereotypical, people that were hunting this bride, and it would have just been a nothing movie.
Right.
The fact that they're all different characters is part of what makes this great.
just
That
Hail
helps.
Hydra.
That
We're gonna
helps.
kill the blonde, but
Blondes.
Blondes.
But yeah.
All right, well let's wrap this up. We're going to take a very quick break, Raven Shadow. This is just because doing 2 movies. Let's just take a quick break. This will be like less than 2 minutes. It'll be less than 2 and 2 MZ. But we'll take a quick one. We'll come back. We're going to talk about Tigers Are Not Afraid, and then we'll unveil what we're doing next week.
We'll be back in 1 and 40.
That's probably more accurate. So we'll be right back.
Thank you guys for having me on. It's a blast. You guys are awesome.
Thank you so much.
And, Trick or Treat Radio, man. That's where it's at. That's the new Fangoria Radio is Trick or Treat Radio.
No. Don't say that.
It's like, you really put us under.
It's like swearing in church. I don't know.
You just jinxed us.
Yeah. you put a lot on our shoulders just now.
Well, we can strive for
You
greatness.
guys are awesome.
Yeah,
you really
just
are. You got
say
a
that again
great show.
slowly.
The following message is a paid advertisement for the Cult of Muscle podcast. The Cult of Muscle. You're either in it or you're dead.
It's the dawning of a new age. The halls of Valhalla have been shuttered. The heroes of yore have either retreated to the shadows or taken to capering for the amusement of the small folk, their past glories a distant memory. The barbells have been torn from their once puma-strong grips, the beards shorn from their square jaws, only to be transplanted onto flannel-clad, puny weaklings with fingers barely powerful enough to strum a ukulele. The time has come, my brothers, to restore order from the chaos. No longer will our heroes be forgotten. No longer will their great deeds be viewed through a foggy lens of irony. Hear now our rallying cry as we scream it from the mountaintops, as we bellow it from iTunes and Libsyn and Facebook. It's time to join the cult, my brothers. So don your cloaks and enter the Cult of Muscle.
I'm Alex West. And I'm Andrea Subasati, and we're from the Faculty of Horror podcast.
And you're listening to Trick or Treat Radio.
we are back on Trick or Treat Radio. What the fuck is so funny?
Oh god, MZ is just like kind of like I don't know if you call it humming or just like he was just going along with the music, and his phone fell, so he's just like no, fuck. It just kind of went with the whole thing.
Oh, it's good. Dropped your fucking phone, MZ. It's a good thing you didn't knock the fucking power out again.
No, I was leaning it against my water bottle that's still full, and because I'm going to be drinking it soon, I thought I'd lean it up against the handle of the mallet that's standing here. But when I did it, it fell over, and that's what made it fall. Let's talk about the shit.
Wow, unfucking believable.
Ain't it though?
All right, so let's talk about this movie. We're going to talk about Tigers Are Not Afraid. This film is not rated, and it is 83 minutes. It is a fantasy horror mystery. It is written and directed by Issa Lopez, and the film stars Paula Lara, Juan Ramon Lopez, Neri Arredondo, Hansel Casillas, Rodrigo Cortez, Ianis Guerrero, and Tenoch Huerta. The synopsis: a dark fairy tale about a gang of 5 children trying to survive the horrific violence of the cartels and the ghosts created every day by the drug war. Oh, okay. I was just about to say, where's fucking Raven Shadow? There he is.
You give him 30 seconds and he'll inhale a butt.
Yeah, we're talking smack about you.
Yeah.
Why? Because you're not hearing your headphones on.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Johnny! I can't believe you said that.
Johnny, come on,
Oh,
man.
you're. Oh my God!
Look at that. Oh, God, what a look.
What the fuck, man? What are you, Michael Winslow?
Yeah. You want to fight?
Fight me.
Fight me.
Oh,
All right, so we were just about to talk about the movie Raven Shadow, and you showed up.
You're welcome.
All right, so Tigers Are Not Afraid. This film is a Shudder exclusive, and I've heard a few people talk about this, and I know Pabst for sure called in and said that he had saw it and really enjoyed it, and so it's got a little bit of a reputation ahead of it, and so the film is a Mexican film, and it came out initially, did some festivals around 2017, and this actually played at BUFF, Boston Underground Film Festival, I want to say in 2018, and I was interested in checking it out. That's how it got on my radar initially, and then it just kind of like slipped out, and I didn't happen to notice when it came out. So, but that's why it's one of those ones that December Cram Jam is for, sort of like finding the things that got by us, or it's almost like we have another opportunity to get it in before the end of the year. And so since Pabst had talked it up, and I wanted to see it anyways, figured we'd throw it in here. And plus, the 83-minute runtime didn't hurt either. Right, Raven Shadow?
It's nice.
You guys are horribly out of focus right now. MZ, can you hold your hand up like in the middle of the room, and hold it up and just hold it there for a moment? See if it focuses on your hand. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you can put it down. It didn't do anything.
Yeah, I think we're just moving fast.
All right.
Vibrate face so you can't see my secret identity.
Yeah. So, all right, let's jump in, and I think we'll make this one a little bit more brief, just because we talked a lot about Ready or Not, and I think that this one there is a little bit more spoiler territory that I think would be. I would be remiss to sort of go down that path too far. So let's keep it kind of like short and sweet. But I mean, right off the bat, this movie is incredibly relevant to this day and age. We got right away, we get the school shooting.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, which is like I don't know that I've seen that portrayed in a film. Have you guys seen a school shooting like that portrayed in a film?
Well, see, I'm not sure that was a school shooting or just a shooting that was outside the school.
And I'm with you on that one, Aries.
Okay.
Can we take it back one step?
Sure.
That might be true.
It does have the credits in the beginning about the cartels, about people who are missing, and how the average, people who are taken, but what happens to the children type thing, something along those lines, right?
Yeah.
Well, but there's also a scene in which one of our lead characters is walking outside of the school.
We lost
and
Johnny.
she sees the.
No, you didn't. I'm trying to fix your camera. So.
Sorry.
And she sees the bullet holes in the school on the outside walls.
Yeah, as she's walking after after that shot. But it was mainly because the gunshots happen and all the students hit the floor, rather than the teacher trying to gather them like away from
to block the door.
Yeah,
or...
all they do is they're just trying to duck and cover essentially.
Right.
Which that is what leads me to believe that's outside the school, and this is more of a normal occurrence that the students have been trained for. Gunshots, you hit the floor.
Right. Yeah. It wasn't. Yeah. So I didn't think it was an active shooter situation. I mean, the thing that comes to mind for a school shooting was I think it was American Horror Story. I think season 1. I think where there was a pretty intense scene with a character, 1 or 2. But yeah, I agree with Aries. I don't think it was a school shooting, but they were just in the area of that.
Yeah, and maybe that was just me, sort of like, I saw them all hit the deck, and I was like, oh fuck, and I heard shooting, so that was my immediate thought,
But it definitely calls to mind where it fucking happens way too fucking much.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, shootings inside school, outside of school. I mean, the fact that there's a school there and there's shootings going on.
Or fucking Navy bases now. What the fuck? A couple days ago.
Yeah.
In real life, you know what I mean? But it's obviously it's not a good land. Let's just say that it's a town in turmoil. And Aries is taking pictures of the fucking computer right now.
Yeah, well, because it was lined up better, but it's still kind of funny.
Oh, those kind of like Johnny's head's on Xbox body.
Yes. Oh, you got it. Okay.
Yeah.
That's Wolfpack.
Yeah, it's the Wolfpack. Oh man.
That's my next tattoo.
Me on
Johnny's
Xbox
head.
body.
Oh my lord, that's a fucking.
Yeah, you need to send that to him so we can see that.
But yeah, so I mean, obviously it's in Mexico, and there's where it seems like we're focusing on when parents are gone, the kids are left behind. So it's almost like a ragtag band of lost boys, so to speak, who are left to fend for themselves. And I think there's a great collection of kid actors. I mean, if anything, in the last couple of years, we should have some great actors in fucking 20 years, because these fucking kids are coming up.
Were those even kid actors, or were they just like kids they found on the street?
They
like,
probably
down there?
might have been.
No, you know what? I was looking that up. And it turns out that the kids that played the gangs, these young kids, not actors at all.
It makes
They're
sense.
not actors at all. They were discovered, and they were brought up through quick training, acting lessons, courses.
Really?
And they just propelled them from there.
No shit.
So yes, these kids aren't even actors. It's like Edward Furlong in T2. He was never an actor before that movie.
Yeah, I saw it on the street. He looked kind of like Linda Hamilton. But it's not his fault. Okay, there was some probably bad decisions, bad adults around him.
Yeah, I thought they were all good though, for sure. Like I was really impressed with the kids in this.
Oh sure,
yeah,
sure. Especially the one that leader,
Shine.
Yeah, he was pretty badass.
I was getting a vibe from him early on, kind of like a young Tupac in Juice. Right? Like, I mean, once again, those characters are much. Oh, these are fucking kids. This ain't fucking Ian Zerling playing a fucking
Ziering. I don't know why you always put a fucking L in there.
Well, A, he ain't listening. B, who fucking cares? And you know who I'm fucking talking about. Okay.
Yeah, Blue Demon.
That Blue Devil. Okay.
Oh, sorry, Blue Devil. Yeah.
Danny Cassidy, my man. But I think he's like 75 years old now, but he still looks good in the Sharknado pictures. What I'm trying to say is that they were great. The great names for the characters. I love the gang, and I loved the fucking title. I loved the mythology. I loved when the shooting happened, the whole gimmick of here are your 3 wishes, with the and this isn't really a spoiler where it happens early in the film, but when the teacher gives her the chalk.
Yeah.
Which
I thought was a little weird that she just reaches out to the one student.
Well, she's probably the good student. There's probably some bad kids in that classroom. Everyone has a favorite.
Or maybe the only one that
Or
she
just
could to.
closest. Yeah, could be.
But it was, I don't know. I mean, it was just. I mean, I had a problem with that she just reached out to the one student rather than try to address them all or the closest ones. And, why does this one get 3 when could have like you 3 each get 1 type of thing? Like
maybe she couldn't do that.
I don't know. I mean,
there might be some rules involved.
Rules?
You only have one
rules for handing out chalk.
No wishes.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, slow it down. You can't. Everyone, you're not all getting a wish, okay? No, I thought I took it more like when shit was getting crazy, she was making a connection to at least one person, and if it was going to end at that moment, she was reaching out and trying just to like give one child comfort in the dark.
That's sort of what I got to.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, I just had a problem with her just the reaching out to one, where every teacher I know they try to reach out to as many as they can. Like, I think that the teacher would have, here, this is your wish, and then tried to crawl to another student. I'm giving you a wish, and then kept on crawling throughout the room.
I think teachers have favorites. Like, I'm pretty sure, like if it was Miss Fairbanks would give me the wishes because that was very good in art.
I think that's. I just feel like if it was the closest person, and maybe if she, they had a relationship, she seemed like a good student. So it didn't bother me at all. I thought and obviously the movie's very different if everyone gets a wish. So
yeah, no, I mean, I just feel that was just more of a plot device rather than more natural.
But if you think about, I mean, it's essentially a fairy tale. I mean, a lot of those are really contrived. So. I was just sort of like in on that. And the thing that someone who does this exceptionally well, and I'm not necessarily comparing this movie to any of his work, but Guillermo del Toro is, I think, a master of mixing fairy tale with sort of real life. Look at a film like The Devil's Backbone or even Pan's Labyrinth and how he juxtaposes these fairy tales against these wars, and these Spanish wars, and I thought I got a similar vibe. I'm not saying it's like that, but setting this sort of fairy tale story against the backdrop of gang violence and drugs and human trafficking, maybe even to it's. I mean, I guess they kind of explained it. I guess that's what was going on. They were taking parts of people, and so it was kind of a bad situation, and. And we sense the impact of this pretty early on, because we have Estrella, and she is, goes home and her mom's not there. And that call, when she called her mom, like that was pretty fucking heartbreaking, man. When she's like, Mom, I need someone to make me food. You need to come home. And, so it was, it's pretty rough and pretty grounded in real life here. And obviously, we don't live in Mexico. We don't quite know what the culture's like there, but this seemed like it was a good representation of what it could be like. And, it was very relevant because a lot of people want to escape that. They want to come to get away from that and come to another country. And that's why this is a very relevant issue nowadays, And
it's funny too, where, maybe 10 or 5 years ago, we could say, oh, that's Mexico. And I'm not saying that America is dealing with the same things as, other countries, but it's a hell of a lot more fucking realer. Like, once again, I think the fact that you go to an active school shooter is very relevant to what's
yeah.
happening in the States. And we can't go 2 months without hearing some fucking shit. So while we're maybe not there, not that fucking far, we ain't that fucking more special.
Right.
Than, you know what I mean? We just got better fucking press, you know, and better agent, you know. But I mean, as we're seeing things play out, we also get a hint of something maybe more supernatural happening with the character.
Yeah, and I like that parts of it was ambiguous. You know, like, because I think that's really what makes a good sort of fairy tale set against a backdrop of real life work well, is you're not quite sure if it's a fairy tale. You know, I don't know. Like, I like that. And I thought that this painted a good picture. It started off really, you know, kind of thrusting you into the real life of what's going on. And it's fucking depressing, you know, and then when you find out about the girl's mother and then what happens, and she kind of joins this gang. And, you know, I was about to talk about something that happened, but I guess it's a little bit spoilery. But when she uses her first wish, you know, I thought that was a pretty powerful scene there as well, you know?
No, definitely. I love, you know, the way the title comes into play throughout the film too.
Yeah.
You know, even watching it was kind of empowering for me. I gotta say that. Like, it's
you're gonna say that from now on. When
I think so.
When you're about to go shovel the snow, tigers are not afraid. Raven Shadow.
Not afraid.
Every time you dig that shovel into the snow, you say those words.
I'm a tiger. I'm a panther. I'm crawling.
You're a panthro.
I am like panthro.
Panthros are not afraid.
Man, he's a fucking nunchuck. Something a fucking the fucking tank. Fucking tell me.
I love the different ways they incorporated tigers into the movie, whether it just be the wall graffiti or the backpack of the stuffed tiger. And that was it was just throughout the whole movie. I loved that. Yeah.
It was great symbolism. I mean, just the way they did that, and I think it's very empowering.
Yeah.
It's being completely, I don't want to say weak, but you got fucking nothing, but you're empowering yourself. And I think that's where the imagery comes into play, whether it's, you know, religion, mythology, whatever you want to call it, drawing a fucking a Superman shield. It's our totems. It's protection spells, right? I mean, and I think they use that to build a myth amongst themselves to protect them, where they don't have family. And I mean, how old are these fucking kids? I mean, it's not fucking
like 10,
yes, 11, 12 maybe. Some were younger, yeah, I think.
Like they're pretty much, yeah. I mean, they're fucking kids, and they're living in these little, you know, rooftop shanties, and they have their little like culture, even down to, you know, making sure that Morrow ate his, you know, vegetables, you know, a little.
The peas.
Yeah. Like, that's your vegetables, dude. So it was a great insight to that, and I think it was the symbolism and the totems were very important.
Yeah, and I think I was gonna kind of save this till my verdict, but I think it's sort of relevant to discuss now. That, I mean, what these kids have gone through, they're not really kids anymore because of what they have experienced and what they've seen and what they've been through. Like that whole sort of like childhood is just it's not even a real thing to them anymore. They don't get to be naive and ignorant to the things going on in the world. Now, I thought that was cool that they brought in the idea of these fairy tales, like you were saying, and to kind of like help them and to give them strength, because like when we were growing up, we didn't have to deal with this bullshit. You know, obviously we live in a different country, but you know, like we all like had like pretty, I don't know, middle class standard like upbringing, you know, and you know we weren't living in the ghetto or the hood or anything like that, and you know, so we were generally pretty safe to go outside and play and do our thing. So, right. You know, and I think that, you know, we all had our fairy tales, whether it be comic books, whether it be, you know, actual like fairy tales or whatever. And those are things that, we didn't have to use to help us forget about real life. They were just like kind of a diversion, you know? So I just thought it was interesting how they sort of intertwined that and it sort of helped give them courage because they're faced with this real shit, you know?
And in fact, it showed actually the importance of schooling to these kids, where it's the teacher when they had to write their story. You know, what is a fairy tale? Like princess, dragons, tigers.
Yeah.
All right, write a story now.
Yep.
And it kind of it and even down the teacher who gave the chalk wishes to her, like the it's nice seeing like teachers being the heroes, even amongst this. I mean, not heroes, but like the
No, you're the inspiration. I mean, you're kind of right. Like in this, I guess in a sense, from a certain point of view, she could have been perceived as the hero because without that, I mean, maybe without the injection of fairy tales, I don't think these kids have the courage to do what they did. You know?
Right. It was very empowering. Where even though they were living alone, they were still going to school, which maybe they went to school just to be safe. And maybe get a fucking lunch or something.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're on the fucking rooftops and shit like that. It's pretty fucking bleak.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe not quite as bleak as like Nightingale or Gwen, but it was up there.
Right.
And especially, I mean, there's also some kid violence in this too. I won't get too deep into it, but like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. MZ's like, oh yeah.
It was fucking great. I kept rewinding it. It's the screensaver.
Yeah.
But but this was, I think it was an interesting mix, and I think it hit a pretty good balance of kind of showing the two. Like one thing I thought was really, this is sort of near the beginning when Estrella finds that body underneath a rug, like a dead body, and the blood was kind of coming out, and there was like two kids playing limbo with police tape.
Yeah.
Like if that's not like like an indication of like it's so normalized to them to see crime scenes that they're just fucking playing limbo,
Or even down to when there's a moment when they figured, like, we'll go to the cops. Like, don't go to the fucking cops.
Yeah. They showed the cops the video, and
they're like screwing off.
Oh, look, don't show me that, and they took off because
Right.
I mean that just shows the type of area they're in and how deep that corruption is.
They don't want to be bothered with it, and they might even get killed, and they don't.
Oh
want to
yeah,
deal
it's
with
not that they don't want to be bothered with it. It's that if they bring that any more forward, they're going to get killed.
Yeah. And I thought that the exploration of this I thought was pretty cool. Like I love their fucking hideout. Their hideout that they eventually got to, the one with the fish in the that was fucking
with the fish in the
in the floor.
Soccer balls.
Yeah. So they make a but they want the pool. In a way, they got their pool.
Yeah.
Right.
They want a soccer field, and in a way, they got their soccer field, and and what it is to them, and they got what they wanted, really, when you think about it.
Well, yeah. Well, it just showed how they were thinking. They saw these fish trapped in this little pool. They saw that as a zoo. They actually said zoo.
Yeah.
And there's a zoo here. You know what that means? There's a soccer field.
Yep.
That was their mindset. They saw a few fish trapped. That's a zoo to them.
Yeah.
I mean you think about that a zoo to anyone else, or to not anyone else, most people, hundreds of animals. I mean, granted they're all trapped, but hundreds of animals on display. To these kids, 10 fish trapped in a little pond, in a little pool. That's a zoo to them.
Yeah.
They've never seen that before. They've never seen these fish before.
So at the same time, they're being super hardened by not only each one of them have gotten their own tragedy, and they even make reference to one character who has seen so much tragedy he doesn't even talk anymore. What could he have seen that's so fucking? But they're all orphans, so they're super hard, but they still retain their certain childlike instinct.
Yep.
You can suck a ball. I mean, pretty sure like if Johnny came in here and threw, not in my studio, but like in like the backyard.
Oh, whose studio?
Down. Oh, your boy. Like throw balls up, we're gonna stop fucking kicking and like running around. You know what I mean? Or like certain instincts go back in where you still have the instinct to play, even if you're fucking, surviving on the streets by yourself.
Yeah, for sure. And I thought that was, I thought the whole thing was pretty cool, the way it all kind of came together, and sort of where it was going to the I guess I call it the final showdown. I thought that was really effective, and I thought that even the way they used, I'm not crazy about the use of cell phones in modern day horror, because it's almost like a get out of jail free card sometimes. But I thought the way it was utilized in this was awesome.
Yes. Well, it drove.
It drove a lot of the plot, and also the way it was used when they were looking for someone.
Yeah, it worked very well. Yeah.
Because that's the hustle. I mean, when you're living on your own, you're that's what you steal. That's could be currency, that kind of stuff. And that's what you can.
You know what? I'll say this was probably the first horror movie to properly use a cell phone. Where it wasn't just a
that that it's used to advance the plot.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
you might be right.
Yeah. And I mean, it's not like they could really call anyone either. So in this case, it's not like they could like, oh, well, I'm just going to call the cops and they're going to come save the day, So, I think that, it was utilized quite well,
Right. Because obviously, they're not paying a phone plan.
Right.
They're not paying a fucking bill. They had the phone. Cops didn't give a fuck about it.
Yep.
So all it was what was being sought after.
Yeah.
Which could have been a fucking gold bar or whatever it was, whatever that.
Well, there were a few limited reasons to why that phone existed, and it held true to those reasons.
Right.
Yeah. So I thought there was some the way it was filmed was interesting, and I think it really played up sort of the real feel of it. It was kind of like a lot of shaky cam and handheld stuff, I think. And I think that really just added to this sort of gritty, realistic way it was supposed to feel. So I thought that they did a really nice job. And I think that the last shot, I thought was really beautiful and a really nice sort of juxtaposition of what we had seen prior,
And it comes out, it's like really jarring when you see it too, because it's like you've been surrounded by this veritable war zone for the past 80 minutes or so,
right?
And then this final shot, it's like overwhelming. It's almost, I won't say it's on the same level as, but when I saw that scene, the thing that came to my mind was the scene in 2001 where it went from bone being thrown up into the air being turned into a space capsule. It's that kind of that transition from one extreme to the other that just makes it so jarring, and it was a beautiful ending too.
Yeah, no, I definitely would agree with that. I think that, and it was heartbreaking too. There was there's some stuff in here that you didn't necessarily expect. So I thought that was, it was kind of bold. I think the way that it was done. Is there any?
Very much.
I want to start to wrap this one up, but is there any other stuff you guys want to talk about? Any technical aspects? Anything else that we just haven't brought up yet? No? All right. Well, let's head to the verdict.
Trick or treat, baby.
I wonder if people would say you're a trick or a treat.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
All right, verdict time. I'm going to let you know whether Tigers Are Not Afraid was a trick or a treat. And any final thoughts, Brave Shadow?
Yeah, I was really into this flick a lot. I loved the gang. I love even down to the names. Shine's my dude. I love when Shine fucking stepped to the like the teenage gang in the underground when they were even giving him shit for
when they were burning the fucking piano.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
And like, you know, he's like, what do you say? Like, girls in my gang, like tougher than any of your, you know, what I'm forgetting the actual word, but basically when he puts the girl over.
Yeah.
You know, because you know, for things like that, and even funny, like while they're hard kids live in this you know shitty area, they're still kids and they're not that smart. Like they're not schemers. It's all with a weird childlike motivations, but they're just not smart enough to be cunning in a certain degree. They can survive, but they're not smart enough to really. You're trying to say like, don't go back to the fucking house, but that's a different fucking conversation. But I like this a lot. It was gritty. It didn't pull any punches. It was raw and it was touching and also inspirational in a weird fucking way. Yeah.
He Ravens guys next time he's fucking going out to shovel. Tigers is not afraid.
Tigers aren't afraid. No, I got a fucking meeting at fucking 3:00 tomorrow. I'm gonna fucking. Tigers aren't afraid. I'm a tiger. They're great.
That's your next tattoo, a tiger.
I'm gonna get a big fucking tiger.
Yeah.
I'll get a fucking tiger tattoo. Don't fucking tell me. Think I'm fucking scared?
Tony the Tiger.
Yeah, no.
All right. Did you gave the final verdict, right, Raven Shadow? I couldn't.
No, you didn't.
That's a trick.
Jesus Christ! Come on, man.
No. This is definitely a treat, man. Check it out. I love these kids. Hopefully they don't really live in a horrible place on earth. They get jobs and contribute to the out world because they're really good. So Shine and Morrow are my dudes. Morrow kind of reminded me of that dude from the fucking Stranger Things.
Oh, Dustin?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the
I can see
Spanish
that.
Dustin.
I
like that. But yeah, no, treatment. Check it out.
Okay, to sum up, Raven Shadow loves children.
Yep.
No, I don't. I don't. I hate.
But Aries, you still love dudes more than he does.
Yes,
that's true.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right.
Let's reiterate.
I love dudes. Raven Shadow loves children.
I don't like.
All right, Aries, your verdict.
Okay. Yeah. No, this movie definitely is a treat. There's a lot going on in this movie. There's so much we could talk about, but it would be a lot of spoilers going on. The whole fairy tale aspect of it, I love. And actually sitting here and talking about the whole 3 wishes thing, it actually made me reconsider the thought of maybe that was actually part of the fairy tale where the teacher didn't actually give her that was more of a dream, that was part of the fairy tale.
Yeah, true.
Interesting.
You know, that just one person's interpretation of it, me rationalizing why a teacher would pick out one student because it's what the student would want.
From her perspective.
Yeah.
Right.
To every student's perspective, they are special to their teacher. They are the number one.
It's not true. Kids out there, if you're listening, they don't give a fuck.
No. You're special. Yeah, to all the children listening to our podcast.
Yeah. all the 6th graders, they don't give a fuck.
But this movie definitely is a treat. Check it out.
All right, MZ.
Yeah, I like this movie too. Probably not as much as these guys did, though. I do appreciate the visceral. Well, I'll just use the same word you've been using, grittiness, because that seems to be the word that seems to cover what this movie feels like, because it really does. It feels like a war zone out there. So there's some great handheld shots. I think the performances from who are apparently non-actors put in a very good performance. Couple things about it though kind of threw me off a little bit. I'll have to watch it again just to see if I can make heads or tails of it. Not tiger tails though. Yeah. But no, I did enjoy this, and with a really good ending. It does there is, it's like you said, Reverend Shadow. There's a lot of inspiration involved in this movie,
Right.
and it's very hard to find an inspirational horror film. You know,
Right? Yeah, right.
You know?
Would you call this a horror film though?
Yeah.
Yes, I guess in
Well-
the sense of what of the reality that these kids are living in,
Okay.
I would say so. Not in the strictest sense of how we view horror as horror.
Well,
you know?
it's like Ari said. It's the test. Does it feel like horror to you? And like when shit like this happens in real life, like it sort of cuts out the fictional monsters and gives you the real fucking monsters. This shit's to me is scarier than monsters.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, definitely.
So, I
Because
mean,
people are monsters.
So it's totally up to up to how you view it. But I absolutely think it is.
I think it is too.
I would classify this as a horror fantasy.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Sure. Because it does have that fairy tale vibe going for it, which is very nicely done too. By the way, it's very well paced. It's good. It's well acted and everything. Like I said before. So yeah, this is a treat for me. I did enjoy this.
All right, for me, also a treat. I think this is a pretty powerful film, and I really, to go back to what I said, I think it shows how kids aren't able to be kids anymore. They're forced to grow up, and I do feel that these fairy tales sort of get left behind because they're forced to grow up so soon nowadays, with all the shit that they have to deal with school shootings and drugs and whatever. Like, depending on your country, depending on the issue. I feel that and that's a shame. I mean, like, I'm sure people are still able to be imaginative and creative, but I mean, just think back to like when we were kids. Like, I don't know, like that's like I don't know that I'd be nearly as creative as I am now if I didn't grow up with that sort of like foundation, So for me, I think that it's I think it just kind of highlights how kids are forced to grow up a lot sooner, and they have to be prompted to talk about and to write fairy tales as opposed to just having them read to you at night or whatever, So I think that that's sort of like a big thing here. The power of myth is sort of like getting lost in real life, and I will agree. I think that this is sort of for a fairly downtrodden kind of sad film. I think there is some inspiration here, and I think that it is a really cool, different film. Like, this is, like I said, I likened it a little bit to some of the Guillermo del Toro Spanish horror that he did, but this is a different thing. Like, this is modern day, whereas the Guillermo stuff was sort of historical, in a sense, where it was more of a period thing. So, I like this take on it, and yeah, it's a treat for me. I think this is a really, really cool film. It's definitely not for everybody because of the subject matter. I guess I could see there being some trigger warnings here, but aside from that, it's sort of like a grown-up Goonies in a sense,
I was kind of thinking about that a little bit too.
Yeah.
Only except you're not looking for One-Eyed Willie's treasure.
Well, these kids are at a fucking.
Well, see, yeah, they're trying to stay alive, MZ.
Or One-Eyed Willie's treasure.
You know what? I mean, I'd say one of the little problems I have with this is the fact that it's got an R rating and it's not a kids movie, but it's the heroes are children. So who is this movie actually geared to?
I think that's fucking awesome. I mean, because it's great to see kids in movies that fucking have stones. I mean, we've seen some fucking dope flicks.
No. I'm not knocking that, but the fact that they made this to get an R, maybe that wasn't their intention. But the fact that it did get an R rating, that the kids starring in this movie wouldn't be able to watch this movie.
Well, fair. I mean, I'm not sure what the Mexican fucking rating system is. Not for nothing.
No, but I'm
confident that
who is the target audience?
I think,
like, I'm not relating to these kids.
Right. I think.
Well, these are adult fairy tales.
Yeah, and I don't think you're supposed to necessarily relate to them, but yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I think we're the target audience just because
Yeah,
there's
that's what I'm saying.
just because there's children in it doesn't mean it should be geared towards a younger audience. So
Look at Drew Barrymore in Firestarter. She wanted to go see the movie in the theater, and the theater wouldn't let her go see it because she was too young.
That's funny. But wasn't she emancipated?
I don't know. Was she?
Yeah.
She was like 8 years old when she did Firestarter or something like that. So,
Yeah, then she was like on her own potty.
yeah. When she was like 8.5.
Nice. She's back.
all right, so that is going to do it for our discussion of Tigers Are Not Afraid. Check this out. It's on Shudder. If you have a Shudder subscription, just fucking watch it, And next week, I'm looking forward to this. We're going to have a guest. It's been a while since we've had a guest. And yes, and we're going to have a guest to help us tackle 2 films. One of which I've been waiting for, once again, for over a year. And that is Antrim, the deadliest film ever made.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Yep.
Yep.
You heard about this at all, Raven Channel?
No, I don't think so.
I think I asked you about this several months ago.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. This also played at a film festival we were invited to. I think it was the Philadelphia Unnamed Film Festival or something like that. We obviously we weren't able to go, but that's where I first found out about it sometime late last year. So the synopsis: a young boy and girl enter the forest to dig a hole to hell. Said to be a cursed film from the late 1970s, Antrim examines the horrifying power of storytelling. So check that out. It is 95 minutes, Raven Shadow, just for the Mr. Runtime over there.
Good, I like that.
And the other film we're going to be doing is a film called In Fabric. And this is directed by Peter Strickland. And we've seen some Peter Strickland. He did Barbarian Sound Studio, if you guys remember that. How could you forget?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Is the Goblin in this one?
I hope so. He also did the Cobbler's Lot, which was a short from Field Guide to Evil. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Yeah.
And
yes.
Let's see. And yeah, that's the only. So we did Field Guide to Evil, and we also did Barbarian Sound Studio. So this is a film In Fabric that just came out on VOD or is coming out. I didn't have the release date here, but it's coming out this week if it's not already. And the synopsis of this one it's a comedy horror. This one's a little bit longer, Raven Shadow, so I apologize. It's 118 minutes, so just under 2 hours. And the synopsis: In Fabric is a haunting ghost story set against the backdrop of a busy winter sales period in a department store, and follows the life of a cursed dress as it passes from person to person with devastating consequences.
All right.
Oh, what's it called?
In Fabric.
Oh. What the fuck? I didn't hear it.
He's only been saying it for 5 minutes.
I don't know. I just heard dulcet tones. We're reviewing it this week. I don't fucking know.
And you guys want to hear who's going to join us to talk about these films with us?
No.
Who could we get to talk about smart films? Oh, man. Oh, I got it.
Josh?
Well, and now you fucking did it. Because now I feel like a jerk because it's not Arkham Josh.
Oh.
But he is smart.
Very smart.
See, Johnny?
What?
Aries, I didn't say nothing.
I know. Well, MZ, he pulled the fucking cord out of the computer, and now he's fucking ruining this.
Yep.
Well, fuck. I mean, I guess I'll just name it. Next week, joining us will be El Goro.
Oh, shit. In studio?
Not in studio.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, he's flying all the way in.
Come stay over, El Goro. We'll fucking be outrageous.
He'll break your house.
Yeah.
No, it'd be a fucking, don't put me and El Goro in the same fucking Batmobile. We'll fucking
He'll break your house.
I thought you were gonna say same bathroom.
That'd be fucking weird too.
Yeah. Maybe you can fix your shower head.
I have a very tiny bathroom. That'd be fucking. I'd be like, hey Goro, pass the salt. Yeah, pass the salt. Why is that in the bathroom?
What are you doing in the toilet? Jesus.
Once again,
man, you got issues.
Once again, me washing dishes is not the weirdest shit I do. So just to peel back that curtain. But come over, Goro. Come on.
You gonna buy his plane ticket?
That'll do it.
I'll pay for his fucking room and board.
You won't pay anything.
By pay for his room and board, you mean put him up on the couch in the next room?
Yeah.
It'd be nice. I mean, yeah, maybe 2 couches. He's a big fella, but no, it'd be nice. I love that. Like morning radio. Oh, it'd be so nice. He'd like Oliver. Oliver would like him.
I think he'd eat Ollie.
Yeah.
No. He'd help me shovel. He's so strong.
He would eat Ollie.
So
He wouldn't eat my dog. Don't eat my dog, bro.
I think he might. He's a big dude.
in the chat room, we have $3 final offer, which is Anthony. He says the kids were rock stars. And he says, follows it up by saying, escapism and fantasy for children nowadays is a window that is closing more and more every day. And he said this film encapsulated that. I look forward to more that Issa Lopez has to offer, a lot like Larry Clark. All right. We appreciate Anthony's input on that because I know he saw this. I'm pretty sure he saw it at Buff, and which was sometime last year, I believe. So. But yeah, he's right. I mean, escapism and fantasy for children is, it's that window's closing more and more. So I think that.
Yet for people who are like in their teenagers and 20-somethings, it's getting wider and wider every day. It's funny how there's like an extended adolescence if you're like in like your 30s or potentially 40s. But children, yeah, it sucks. Don't have kids.
Tell Aries.
No, his kid's fine, but like new kids. like the Son of War got in right under the radar. Like he just got
my child's a man now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Probably kicked your ass too.
My ass, yeah, probably.
Yeah, your ass.
definitely.
Yeah. Well, we know he kicked your ass years ago.
He kicked your ass when he was fucking 40.
Only with the use of a foreign object.
When he was like 3 years old, he kicked your ass.
Foreign object. That's all I have to say.
We need to recreate that.
Now.
Yeah, we're right where I could throw a rock to where we filmed that.
No, because now I can actually deck him if I need to.
Yeah, good luck with
Oh,
that.
he'd fucking lay your ass out.
Oh yeah, you would. You couldn't even reach him. How tall is he, Aries? 6'3"?
Built like
How
tall is he?
How tall?
How old is he?
No, tall.
Oh, tall. He's 6'2".
6'2". Okay.
6'2". Okay.
basically he's fucking Gronkowski.
Yeah.
Yeah, Anthony says he saw Tigers Are Not Afraid at Buff 2018. He said Issa was there, spoke after, and said she's amazing.
Nice.
So-
Issa Bunny?
Oh, my God. All right. So we got one voicemail. So next week, we're doing Antrim, the deadliest film ever made in fabric, and we'll be joined by El Goro. Now, let's check out. We got one voice message, and this is from our boy Pabst.
Nice.
What's going on, guys? It's Paps. Just calling in. I had wanted to call in about Midsummer, and then I had remembered that I'm actually going to see it this weekend in the same room that you motherfuckers did your live podcast in. That's right, the Parkview room. So they are screening the director's cut of Midsummer. Now, I saw the kind of original, standard, whatever the fuck you want to call it, over the summer. Absolutely loved it. I'm a huge fan of, the director Ari Aster. I've hounded you guys about doing like Hereditary and then this and blah blah blah. You guys know my feelings on it. But yeah, so I am super excited to see the director's cut of this movie. I thought it was absolutely beautiful and stunning when I saw the original one, and I cannot wait to see what the director's cut has in store for me. So that is going to be awesome. I did not get a chance to see the other movie you guys are watching this week. I don't even remember what it's called. But I had watched Tigers Are Not Afraid back during my 31 Days of Halloween, and I fucking loved that movie. I was really surprised by it. I thought it was so well done. God, it is just fucking soul crushing at some points. It just in terms of like how realistic it is, and taking like kind of that backdrop of cartels and kind of setting it to a horror movie, I thought was just absolutely brilliant. And I'm kind of wondering, like, how, why I haven't seen that before. I'm sure there are movies out there that, have a similar theme or kind of through line. But yeah, no, I fucking loved Tigers Are Not Afraid. Rebecca pointed out there's a lot of parallels between that and Guillermo del Toro's, like, early work. And I thought that was just fucking brilliant, her making that connection. I thought it's really, really spot on, kind of taking that rough historical period, like Spanish Civil War, like, Guillermo del Toro did with, the fuck was it? Like, I think he did it with Pan's Labyrinth, if I'm not mistaken, and with Devil's Backbone, which a lot of similarities between, this and Devil's Backbone. But yeah, I fucking loved it. I hope you guys loved it too. I've really been looking forward to hearing you guys talk about it. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great show. I hope you guys are doing well. Holiday season. I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. Yeah, have a good one. Peace.
All right, Paps. Thanks, buddy. Always a pleasure to hear from you. I'm glad that he could call in because I know he was really repping for Tigers Are Not Afraid. So, and that's sort of what got it back on our radar because I didn't realize that it had jumped onto Shudder. So, appreciate the heads up on that. And also, it sounds like he's going to go see the director's cut of Midsummer. So yeah, if you want, Paps, let us know what you think of the director's cut and what you noticed, or if you prefer the director's cut or not. So, and it sounded like he was listening to some fucking metal in the background. I dug that.
Yeah.
I know Paps likes his metal. So awesome, buddy. Thanks, Paps. Appreciate it. All right. Well, I think we got to. Maybe we should end this because we did start a little late because of MZ kicking the power out.
Yes. You.
And, we got through 2 movies in just under 3 hours, I believe, or close to it. So not too bad. Next week, maybe a little bit more verbose with someone who's a lot smarter than us. So maybe we shall, kind of make the intro a little bit shorter next week. But next week, once again, we're going to check out Antrum, the deadliest film ever made. Is that the deadliest film ever made, and In Fabric. So if you would like to join along, go ahead and check those out. Let me see. I just want to see if In Fabric is available yet. I believe it is. Prime Video, yep. You can buy it, or you can buy the Blu-ray. So yeah, so it looks like you can, I don't know if it's available to rent. I think it's, okay. It comes out on the 10th, December 10th. So you can pre-order it right now. But you can order the European version, I believe. You can get so if you have a region-free player, you can get the Blu-ray if you want to get it right now. It's in stock. So a few ways you can watch it. But yeah. If you guys are interested, check out In Fabric and Antrum, the deadliest film ever made. We're going to be talking about those next week with El Goro. Now, do you guys have anything else before we say goodbye?
No.
All right. Let's say goodbye, MZ.
Arrivederci, douchebags.
Aries.
Goodbye.
Raven Shadow.
Live fast, love hard, die with your mask on.
All right. Well, that is going to do it. We appreciate you guys tuning in for episode 384 of Trick or Treat Radio. December double feature Cram Jam is in full effect next week. Once again, Antrum, the deadliest film ever made, and In Fabric, joined by El Goro. Check out our Patreon if you guys want to hear our weird science film commentary. Also, we have the Police Academy 2 and then a bunch of other exclusive Patreon content. Check it out, patreon.com/trickortreatradio. And that is gonna fucking do it. The show is over. Oh, I meant to ask you about The Mandalorian. Maybe next week, Raven Shadow.
Oh, it's so much fun.
Actually, since I played the wrong music, I watched episode 4 of The Mandalorian with Raven Shadow.
Oh, good for you.
I was all bummed out because I didn't get a chance to see it before I left. And then Raven Shadow was like, "Oh, you want to watch it?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll watch it with you." You didn't even fall asleep. I was so proud of you.
I was awake, Johnny. We engaged. It was nice.
Was that weird watching the fourth one before you watched the first three?
Listen, oh no, I've been watching them back to back, and it was nice. You know, Johnny was doing his thing. I was gonna go to bed. Ended up waking up. Johnny was in the kitchen eating some dinner, and we're like, you know what? Hey, I'm up, you're up. Let's fucking watch The Mandalorian.
What did you think of Cara Dune?
She's fucking badass, dude.
Yeah.
So she's dope. I tell you, I told her that she should be fucking Big Barda in the fucking Mr. Miracle fucking TV show.
Yeah, I could see that. Definitely. So if you guys want to hear a more verbose discussion of that episode, since we just talked about it for 30 seconds, but if you guys want to hear a full review, we do it over on Force Insensitive, Star Wars podcast. So if you want to check that out. Now, I'm playing the right music, and we're doing the outro. So for myself here in Castle Wolfenstein and the guys over at the Raven Chateau, we will see you next week.